easy answer, but I'm not gonna pick it. Honestly, I think Cedric. Cedric has like theater experience. I think he could he could put something together.
Solid answer. Solid answer.
Yeah. Um.
Solid.
Let's ask Ark. Who would give you a makeover?
None. 0 people.
You gotta
Damn.
pick someone. Pick a PC or an NPC. You
You
gotta
don't
pick
got a
someone.
choice.
If you had to.
I want the blind person to give me a makeover.
Oh boy. Okay.
It's gonna be based off of textures.
Marjorie.
Ooh, this is sweet. Ooh, this
Marjorie,
is
you're next.
Ooh, a suede.
Suede. Marjorie's next.
I think Marjorie. The issue of picking Rose is I think Marjorie's scared she get a goth makeover, and that's not her vibe.
It's
But
So-
how, but how
She
would
goes
she know?
real heavy on the eyeliner. She has one setting.
I think she'd pick Wenda low-key.
Answer. Pick someone to go next.
Cedric.
I feel like he would pick Cassian and expect it to go not well. But he would do it just because it's like, that's my boy. I don't care. That's fine.
I
And he'd
try
rock it.
real
You know what I mean? Even if it
hard,
was ugly, he would rock it. He would just rock it.
And get real
What about
far.
you, bro? Let's bring it over to Cassian.
Not that far.
I think I'd probably choose Rosemary.
I feel like that's a fair answer too.
We do have similar vibes.
And last but not least, Kay.
I feel like the only person that Kay would trust to do it and not like mess around with it to have fun would be Ark. Because I feel like he's like, hey, I want to change my look, like sincerely ask him for his help. I think Ark will be like, all right, yeah, let's try something. If anybody else would have too much fun with it, and it won't end well.
All right, gang. We're going to jump right into it. Any other questions, comments, concerns before we begin?
I'm
We've been for the
putting
last
it out
24
there. I'm
hours.
probably.
I would like to point out for the class that Halo has bitten my notebook. You can see it in the corner.
No!
She's revolting.
Fell beast.
All right, y'all. Before we get
Wait.
started. Oh, go ahead.
I'm probably going to be dipping at like 2 a.m. A fair warning.
It's super fair. Super fair. All right,
Thank you.
y'all will notice a new map in front of you, and you will also notice in the party notes like category, there is a map key. It shows all the things that are marked and also the different inns that are unmarked, just their general district and where they're at. I'm gonna do it like this because I like the map key not being in your fucking face, so you can see the whole map. And also, it kind of gives you guys like the okay, where is everything just in its general area for things that are not marked as well. And I will continue to add stuff if things pop up. But we gonna jump right in to session 34.
Do we get a long
Boy,
rest?
boy, boy, boy. Everyone should be long rested, yes.
Just making sure. Notes.
As you approach through the towering gates of Valar's Rest, the air grows thick with the weight of this heat and ash, remnants of the distant firelands that loom like an ever-present shadow on the horizon. The city sprawls before you, its stone walls reddened from the dirt that it's created from. Its heat seems to have burned it in to this ancient cobblestone. Above, the sky is a smoky hue, and the sun is little more than a faint glow behind the haze. The architecture here is sturdy, built to withstand both the land's brutal elements and the weight of centuries of history. And as you step into the bustling streets, the sounds of merchants calling out their wares, the clatter of carts on stone roads, and the murmurs of distant conversations fill the air, and the city is alive. Scorched banners flutter from the rooftops, some bearing the sigil of the Fireland Watch, the patrol that guards the city from any who might dare wander too close to the gates. The people here carry an air of endurance, their eyes constantly scanning, not being alert, but ready for the next opportunity. To your left, you spot the imposing silhouette of the gathering flame, this large towering inn of and hub of both refuge and rumor, with its warm, welcoming glow cutting through the otherwise somber cityscape. But here in the streets, life continues in its usual rhythm, somewhere between surviving and thriving. You notice a small kiosk tucked along the edge of a square, very early into your entry of the city. Its vendor, a weathered map maker with sharp eyes, beckons you a bit closer. On his wooden counter lies a simple map of Valar's Rest, detailed with the city's prominent locations. They hand you this well worn piece of parchment, and the edges are frayed, but the ink is still sharp, showing the key places in the city with careful detail. In a hushed voice, they speak to you, telling you that the Fireland Watch and the Crucible Bazaar are the lifeblood here. But don't get too comfortable. For while outsiders are always welcome, it is not an uncommon thing for that welcome to be overstayed. With that, the vendor gives you a nod, a crooked smile, and returns to his business, but not before offering you all very high priced jewelry for your necks, your wrists, your rings. And as you look over the map, you can feel the weight of the city pressing around you. Not a pressure, just a weight. A city forged from the land itself, where there's survival, ambition, and opportunity all walk together. I'm going to pass it all to you six as you enter in the city. It is here where we will start our session. It is maybe a couple hours past noon. As far as where Gwenda is, wherever you guys decide to stay is where we will kind of above board. Wherever you guys decide to stay is essentially where she will have created a rendezvous point for you.
I imagine she's probably up in the bathhouses, no?
I assume so. I feel like that's a Karina thing. So yes.
And Gwenda is pretty Karina.
Yeah.
She did pick like the cheapest place in the last city, so I'm pretty sure she would have picked like the Loose Bucket Inn.
It's up to you guys. That's not even
Where we
the
stay.
main thing right now.
Yeah.
You guys, it's wherever you guys want to stay as a whole. It doesn't matter wherever. Wherever you guys decide, she will be there. Right? But you still have many hours to make your decision. The city is pulsing with this life. People greet you. They see you and be like, "Oh, outsiders, come see our wares." And most of it is like nuts, a bunch of like beautiful clear cut gems. The gems have been polished, cut. They're almost symmetrical. They're just the gems that you can affix into your own jewelry. But they're selling them at pretty decent markups. And a lot of what you see here is trading. There's not a lot of gold exchanged, not between the people of this land. Most of the gold comes from people that, much like yourself, stick out like a sore thumb, dressed in all of these different variations of colors and armor patterns that you would only see anywhere except here. It's very easy to spot out an outsider. But for the most part, this is a barter and exchange system. You see people are like, okay, well, yeah, I'll take this and I'll get you next tour day, next moon day, and we'll kind of go from there. What do you guys want to do?
Well, do we want to try and peruse the city? Is there anything anyone wants to do specifically, or we can look for this noble family that I'm loosely associated with? I don't know if anyone has any sort of goals now that we're here.
I have something. Uh, would I be able to find anyone, or is there any one or group that deals in more like information than like objects? Like,
Can't hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Muted.
Sorry.
What?
There isn't really a group that deals in information that you would be easily told about, right? Like your first hour into the city. The Vault of Kindling Tomes is essentially a repository of knowledge. It is open to the people. You can sense that many things in the city are not hoarded. It's not a land where people, take things. In fact, there's maybe 2 noble family houses here in this entire mass of a city. It's not a land full of nobles, it's a land of people. And these people, judging from the forum and asking just a bit around about what the fuck goes on in the city, the forum is a place where any member of Valar's Rest can cite a grievance. It has these hours over the week where the 6 elders of Valar's Rest will sit and they will hold counsel. They will hear words. They will cite very much like a king would do, essentially. They will hear grievances. There will be debates that are sparked, but it's open to everyone. There are no levels of true political power here. There's absolute authority in these 6 elders. You can gain affluence and you can gain, influence through your wealth and through your deeds. But as far as political power, it is wholly in the hands of those 6 people.
Okay.
Yes, Marjorie.
What's number 8? The Sanctum of Ifrit?
The Sanctum of Ifrit.
Ifrit. That's
You
what
can
I
give
said.
me a religion check.
That's not what you said.
It was a joke, I know. Religion, that is gonna be a 4.
Or ah, I like your words, Magic Man. That's it, man. You don't get anything on a 4.
Cool.
What are you guys doing?
Well, as much as I would love to go around and look around the city, I feel like one of us has a job to do here. Might as well get it done first.
Do you want us to go with you, Cassian, to do that, or do you want some privacy on that?
If you want.
I do. I'm glad I'm able to.
Hey,
Okay, so go ahead.
not really sure as to what reception there will be. I'm hopeful, considering one of their. Was he a knight? Simon, was he like a household knight, or was
Simon
he?
Hosford, he told you that he was a ward of the Ryland family.
Okay.
He was a ward. So he was a very young boy that came into the family service and their protection. You don't know what matter it was, but he is a paladin. He even expressed that much to you. He's capable of some divine magic.
Okay.
And he carries he dresses very knightly and he has that stature of a knight.
But he doesn't hold like any family authority that would. No. Okay. But
He's a ward.
he's a
Theon
ward.
Greyjoy.
It's still a recognizable name.
He's a recognized, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Only real way I can introduce myself to the family is we met Simon, who came by the fortress. Hopefully he's here, because then he can vouch for us as having met us. If not, then it'll be just on our word.
Yeah,
However,
hopefully
I
we can find him.
introduce them, If you see.
Maybe we go to the market first then and just see, because it's near the heights. I imagine if he's under one of the noble households, that seems like the right place to go.
He's under the Ryland family. It seems he has other ties, not just them. So we could certainly go to the market and ask around as well.
My question is, even if we know where they are, we know where their house is. How are you going to convince them to let you in to give your message?
It's not it's not about really trying to convince them. I carry with me the only physical tie of what happened to their daughter.
That may do it. Very well. All right.
So where are you guys going? You guys tell me you can stay together, you can split up. Which district, which area, where are we going?
I think going to the market may be a good way to tap the pulse of the city as well.
What are the emerald mines?
Yeah, just kind of like a quick, like speaking to that old map maker, getting some knowledge, just asking these questions that you will eventually ask me. The Emerald Mines are a mine that is, controlled by the city. They don't really let people just go in and mine what they want, but it is an ancient mine. People have dug deep and down. You have to almost rappel now into the mines. People have found numerous gemstones and minerals in those mines. Some people say that it's all empty. All of the ores are they've gone through that withdrawal. They've pulled. There's nothing more in there. And then a month later, someone will come out with a massive ore, a massive chunk of gemstone, and the search keeps up again. It's just a mine that has been placed here due to its proximity of the mountains, and the people that created this community around it continue to use it for their resources. However, the deeper the mines go, the more dangerous they are. Creatures deep that make their territory deep in the earth, rightfully so, encroaching when people encroach on their territories, they don't take too kindly to it, causing some tension between those that would look for treasures and the very dangerous monsters down below.
That's a possible place for jobs. If someone's trying to mine down there and their mine spot is now a nest, you can go deal with that.
I already have a job.
What is the sapphire bats?
Bathhouse.
We should go there.
Yeah,
But the way
I'll
it's
work-
told to you, I will give you this. The way it's told to you, it's not like, oh, it's a bathhouse. It's like, it's a bathhouse.
Got it.
Look at confusion. I'm like, what do you mean? Why are you saying it like that?
It's a bathhouse. Why don't you just go try it? Why don't you just go check it out? That's kind of the big vibe that you get, and you feel like there's like this kind of relishing in telling an outsider that information of like, hey bro, go to the bathhouse,
Hey,
bro.
bro,
Check
who
it
knows?
out.
Who knows what it is?
Like,
Hey.
who knows?
Oh,
what it
it's
is, but
called
check it out.
Hooters.
Like, check
No,
it
It's
out.
called
Like,
Gonna
Twin
go,
Peaks.
gonna go in there and
Check
order
it
the
out.
special.
You'll
Like,
like
check
it.
it out. Check the bathhouse out.
Are we going to see some Twin Peaks?
I'm in the joke.
She's making sure we heard it.
Any other questions? Or I assume we're all going to the Ember Market as a group.
One last one, because might as well get as much information before we move on. The Crucible Bazaar. It sounds like a trading place, but it's also called the Crucible, so I'm curious.
The Crucible Bazaar is essentially the Ember Market is the district, right? The bazaar itself, the Crucible Bazaar, as marked on the map, is where most of the trading happens. That is like in the Grand Exchange. For those who have played RuneScape, there's the Grand Exchange, and then there
Nice
are other
big
shops outside of the
Okay.
Grand Exchange. There's like a banker, there's a blacksmith, there's a magic shop in whatever that fucking city is called.
Varrock.
Varrock, thank you. Like in that area, there's like a couple of other shops, but the Grand Exchange is like, oh, that's where you go for anything. Like that's our spot. Like, that's where we want to go. That's where most of the trading happens. But the Ember Market as a district will always have those other like smaller shops there.
Got it. I was just curious because it had a Crucible in front of it, and that like a fighting market.
Just the name.
I think that's it for now.
Cool. I assume we go to the Ember Market, going towards that aforementioned bazaar.
Yeah.
As you guys make your way up the steps, the heat is starting to bear on you. You find yourselves like, all right, maybe I don't need this piece of cloth here. Let me. Whew. All right, it's definitely the hot. The heat is intense, and not just that, but it's exacerbated by the amount of people in this city. You're always brushing shoulders with someone, but the people seem kind enough. Some try to stop you and be like, hey, like, you're not from here. What's your story? And then after maybe like the third person, it's getting more and more condensed because you've realized they're not asking for like with an ulterior motive of like, oh, are you able to do this for me? It's like, what's your fucking story? You're not from here. It's like, oh, we're here, we're travelers, we're doing this thing. Then it's like, we're here, we're travelers, we're doing this thing, and then we're travelers, we're doing this thing, we're travelers, we're good, we're good. And like the maybe half hour it takes you to walk towards the Ember Market, and the first thing you see is this massive amount of people gathered. It shell shocks a lot of you. This environment for shopping isn't the same way as it is back home in Andamiria. But it's not just trading and purchasing going on here. There are events happening. You see a couple of minstrels playing their instruments, this very quick jig, very fast. They're plucking on the strings, they're dancing while they do it. Across the way, there are fire dancers that are blowing these flames, doing these acrobatic movements. You see these other people. There's a shouting match between a couple of merchants and this older woman speaking about anything. And you're just looking around. What do you guys want to do here, if anything at all? Why are you here in the Ember Market in the Crucible Bazaar? What are you looking to gain?
I want to look for spices for Ark's cooking for him. That's what I want.
Yeah. You see there's this Fire Genasi man. He's has a small little stall set up, and there's a couple of like raw like materials. There's like raw meat, raw fat, raw like dried herbs and things of that nature. Cedric, you make your way, and he goes, hello, friend. Hello, hello. Outsiders, please peruse my wares. What can I assist you with today? I will tell you that the meat is fresh. It just came in from the nomads this morning.
That's amazing. Actually, I'm really new into town, and I was just curious if you guys have any spices that are like native to the region, maybe only that grow, here in the Firelands. No.
Of course we do, my friend. I will show you something that works on quite literally anything of a fatty texture. Anything that is not very lean in its makeup. This will make it perfect. And he kind of rummages through and pulls out a small vial, and then he opens it and he gives it to you, still holding it to waft into your nose. And it's a pungent smell, but it's almost like cardamom and cinnamon put together.
Ooh.
It's a very savory with a hint of sweetness, and you can sense there's maybe some heat in there, but the heat is underlaid under the sweetness.
Call it paprika.
Yeah.
Kind of like a sweet paprika almost. It's
I will
this
say,
dark
spicy
brown
sweet is one of my favorite
orange powder.
combinations.
I mean, it's one of everyone's favorite combinations. It's just a wonderful way to make food. Now, what this is actually ground sandkeg hide. We mix in the oils of its body and some of the fat, just the natural lubricants of the creature, grind it to a paste, throw in some thyme and rosemary, mix it all together, and the secret is just a bit of shredded boulette hoof. But not any boulette. Specifically the magma boulettes that make their home in the Firelands. Very rare spice for those of you that are not from here.
Well, you've got my fancy. How much? I would like at least a couple, uses of it. Or does a little
What
like
do you have to
your
trade?
well, I have currency, but I also have other things. Let's see.
Currency is good, yes, but let me give you a little word of advice.
Sure.
The value of a trade is much more lucrative in our city than just currency. Currency goes a long way, yes, but it is a static value. Whereas trade, the value can either increase or decrease tenfold.
Let's see. Well, I actually happen to have I pull out like a couple bottles of ink. Would this be of any use to you? I've got quite a bit of this. I don't know how easy it is to acquire out here.
Quite difficult, truly. It's not impossible, of course, but the quantity is very much lacking. Let's say I trade you 3 of these small vials of spice. 1 is enough for a full meal. For, let's say, 8 inkwells.
Deal.
Sounds good. He takes the vials, places them down. He takes the inkwells. He inspects them all to make sure they're full. Then he gathers them all up, shakes your hand. It's a pleasure doing business.
And you as well. I go look for Ark.
Cool. Ark, you're in between a bunch of people with everyone else as Cedric comes to your right, taps you on your arm, and shows you with a eager grin that he has these vials of spices in his hand.
Local spices.
Hang on, what does it look like again? The color and like texture?
Like brown, orange, like spices. It's like ground, like brown,
Is it
orange.
like fine, like salt, or is it more like
It's
flaky?
it's not as fine as salt. It's like flaky salt. Like there's little like
Like when it
also,
grinds
there's
peppercorns type deal? Like grinding the
there's kind of
peppercorn?
like shapes in it. There's little like shards of like salt, like shards of spice in it.
Okay. Is it? I kind of pop one and smell it. Is it?
You're like, you weren't expecting it. It's not like very pungent, like in terms of like, but to never like smell that, you can immediately tell like, okay, the flavor profile. This wouldn't work on something very lean. Like this wouldn't work on like a venison cut. This would work on like beef. Like this would work on fatty meat.
Okay. Cool.
You just made the point of, we don't appreciate your cooking enough, so consider this a gesture towards making up for that.
I was more so kind of just giving you a hard time, but I appreciate it.
What the fuck is this playlist?
That's RuneScape, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Yeah, that was sea shanty.
What is
I
this
know it
playlist?
anyway.
Ryan got a hold of the.
Yeah, Ryan, how'd you
Yeah, Ryan got a hold of it. I don't know how he did, but sorry.
Hey man.
Go ahead.
But yeah.
No,
thank you. I mean, I appreciate it. I'll definitely put it to good use.
I have no doubt. But also, it's not just about that. It's for a lot of things. And he just kind of walks away.
You all continue looking around the Crucible Bazaar. Anything else you guys want to do?
Kay wants to find. Oh, sorry, Brent. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
You know how every place has that thing of like, let me sell you a cool trinket from this place, so like you can show your friends you've been here.
Yeah, like souvenirs, like little souvenirs. Yeah, you see a kid like having a stall, and it's like fully stocked. Like fully stocked, and it's just small stuff. Like you see that all of them are from the Firelands, though. Like, and there's a little cardboard sign that's posted down that has like Fireland rock, a small jug of magma, like just these tiny things that like don't do anything. Like it's hardened magma rock, but they're all from the Firelands. You see a kid in disheveled clothing, they're just kind of sitting there. They're playing with what looks to be this the kendama toys, like with the two
like
little like
cup with a needle in it.
yeah, the cup and then the needle, something like that, but it doesn't have the needle and it doesn't have one of the other cups. So it's just one of them, and they're spinning the ball, catching it, they're spinning it, just like all right, bored. He sees you. Kid is maybe 12, 13 years old. Oh, hey.
Hello. Quick glance of his shop. Is there anything that's like not a rock? Not like
Most of it is like small, like they're ruinous things, like rocks or like sand. It's like one of those like there's one of these like glass like jugs, like a little like mason jar that has sand that has a little artwork of different color sand that like when you layer the sand in different colors, looking at the mason jar, it has like a piece of artwork, and it's something like that for like Valar's rests, like the emblems that decorate the city.
But other than like that and rocks, that's all those kind of.
They're not gonna have like anything else like of value really here.
Well, I wasn't looking for something of value, but like something like this is clearly from the Firelands. Like, ooh, look at this. And this is more.
I mean,
like,
they all are. They all are. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they all are.
I don't think this is quite what Kay was looking for. I'll try somewhere else.
Okay.
But like, just give the kid a nod and keep on walking.
Goes back to his game. Anyone else?
And I just as we're kind of walking around, just get a feel for general I don't want to say the temperament of the city, but what is like the general mood? Like, does it seem like people seem to be like anxious about anything? Like, there's something happening with the populace we're unaware of, some current event. Make sure like the city's like calm and stable.
City's very calm. It goes a bit further than just calm. It's
Okay.
like people are content. There's a big
Okay.
like era of like contentness through all of the people in here. They get into this routine, they have their processes, and you notice, Cassian, that there's not many like in poverty or in squalor as you're going around. Maybe it's just because you haven't been in the city too long. But in this area, in the areas that you've been walking by so far, there hasn't been a single person in squalor that you've seen. Not yet. Not in this, from this main line here northwards, that you've seen anything.
Unless anyone has anything else, how do you feel about trying to entreat with some nobles?
Also,
AJ, I have a question. Are there any like street performers or anything? Or like I don't know, I just want to watch a street performance. I want to see what the music is like and stuff.
The music is very rapid. It's very much there's the tunbar, which is it is a real world instrument. It is essentially a hand drum that isn't as hollowed out. So essentially the way it's made is like typically with lamb skin and it's roped together. And then there's this very like instead of making it all hollow, it's a different like the best way to describe it is like a Pringles can that's just halfway full, and then they top on the top of the Pringles can. But there's a string at the bottom of it that you can pull down when you're hitting with your hand to give it more air in and change the volume of the drum, change the tone of the drum. And people, it's a big instrument, and they're sitting here not like too big like to where they could ride it, but it's like enough where they hold it in one arm like under their armpit, or they put it down in front of them and they're hitting it as they're like on one knee doing this very rapid movement, pulling the string as they do it. And it's very percussive. Much of the instruments here is percussive or very light strings, a little bit of wooden instruments, but you're not going to see like any like classical. It's a far cry from what you're used to, Marjorie. It's passionate playing. Like people are going at it. They're just a random person will come in. They'll recognize the player. Like you see this old woman. She's walking with maybe her grandson or someone that she knows, and she walks up, says hello to the drummer. They start playing this music. The other performer plays a different volume, a different tone of that drum, and they're going. And there's a quick little dance, and then a laugh. A small tip is sent to them, and then they continue on. That's kind of the biggest music things that you see here. But you see this same instrument, the same type of music played alongside performances. These fire dancers, they're dancing to the music. They're doing these twirls. They light their feet on fire and then kick it up so the flame does this arc behind them. This coal that they kick like a hacky sack continues to move around. Moving forward, you see a sword swallower. They put the blade all the way down. They put their hands out. There are claps, and then in one slow motion, they play the crowd up. They're like, and then they pull the sword out, laughing with a smile, and people clap around. It's a area full of vibrancy and life.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
I think Cass was in the middle of saying something.
Yes.
Just if no one else had anything, we can try and talk to some noblemen, and hopefully they may be able to vouch for us so we can actually pass through the city. Because after all, this isn't our destination; it's just a stop on the way there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. So I assume we're making our way all the way down to 12.
looks like it.
Okay. Someone give me a perception check, please, if you'd be so kind.
can it be anybody?
Someone or everyone?
One person.
My
Not it.
Does anybody have a positive perception check?
You guys,
Window.
nose goes. Brennan and I are already doing it.
Cedric.
Fuck
Those goes.
y'all.
Oh man. Y'all want me to make the perception check?
I'll make the damn perception check. God damn.
I mean, I
I'll
got
give
plus
one to that, you're
4.
the best one at it.
Fucking hell. Oh, that was almost natural 20.
15. 15. Well, technically, it wasn't a natural 20, right, Ryan? As you guys are walking, Cassian, you spot what you first perceive as a scuffle. You see people dressed in Fireland Watch uniforms. They're going to this man as they pick him up rather roughly by the arms, and you stop in your tracks looking like, okay, some shit's going on. Is this a policing force? Is this like an authoritative regime? What's going on here? And then on your perception check, you actually like overhear some of the conversation, and they're pleading with him. They're like, "You need to stop doing this. We know it's hard for you. You need to stop. Like you're scaring your friends and your neighbors. You need to stop doing this." And the guy is very much inebriated at maybe 4 in the afternoon. Very much inebriated.
So they're just trying to help the town drunk.
They're trying to help this guy who's not the town drunk though. That's
He,
like
he
becoming
looks yeah.
Yeah,
looks
like
inebriated
it's
in some
very
way.
much like a weird thing because just early coming in, you know the Fireland Watch is not the policing force of the city. They are not. There is a city guard separate from the Watch. The Watch is those that specifically maintain the borders of the Firelands. They patrol all around this area and this entire
Yeah.
ridge here.
On
They
the
prevent
other
people
side.
from trying on the other side. They prevent
Okay.
people from trying to sneak their way on over and smuggle people through. They are the border patrol. They are the United States Mexico border patrol. That's what they are.
Not effective.
But probably a bit better.
But
you know
better.
what I mean?
Yeah,
But better.
But they were.
Because they're actually making their way into the city, and they're like, hey, they're acting as this policing force. They're acting as this city guard.
It's just
It's
that
a
the
unique-
city is so tight knit. They happen to know this person, that they know what's happened. Does it seem like they seem to understand what his situation is?
Very much so.
Okay.
Very much
So it's
They know
not just
this-
like there's a mystery as to why this person's acting strange. Okay.
Exactly. It's like they know this man, and they're like as a person that knows you, you need to calm down.
Sorry, you go ahead, Cassian.
Let's not get involved. This is a very tight knit community. It's a nation within one city. We are just outsiders. They seem to have it handled. It's fine.
Looking at that, just out of curiosity, this guy's outfit, like of the guy who's drunk, does he look like they're doing this because he should be of a higher station?
No, he's dressed in commoner like clothing. He's dressed just like all the people that you've seen around the city. You know, like fresh linens, thin linens. There's a couple of like sweat stains under his pits and on his chest, and you can tell that they're aged. Like he hasn't changed or washed this outfit in a while.
Are people like watching? Like this is a big commotion of like, oh look at that guy being drunk at 4.
It's not. In fact, they're kind of like the people around, like maybe one or two spare like a halt in their footsteps and be like, and then they continue on. There are some people that are like, they look towards that group of 3 and they're like, and then you even see the other one that's not taking point talking to this man. They're kind of like move along. And the people are like continuing forward. So it's like everyone understands in the general vicinity what is going on to this guy. Everyone, like, it's not a like, I wonder what's happening. It's like, okay. Yeah.
So this is not his first time doing it.
It's
No.
handled.
It's a testament to how difficult it is for things to go under the radar in this city. Everyone knows everybody. The people that you live next to, they're your neighbors. They're your community. They're your initial community. And that extends in small different pockets throughout the entire city. You can tell that like everyone is going to know, I live next to this person. They have 3 kids. They have that. They have this. They have a dog. Oh, the person across the street, they have this. That like they know each other. This is not, it's very dissimilar to Andamaria, where in many other cities in Veovaland and Garrix, where it's like, I'm gonna do me, you do you, ain't no problem, we cool.
It's cultural
Yeah,
differences.
I was getting
it's
like
very,
It's just a
Okay.
cultural difference. It's just a cultural difference, and you're just experiencing it for the first time.
I was getting that feeling of like Glendale, like everybody knows everybody feeling from the city a little bit.
they seem to have it handled, so we can just move on.
You guys continue on past the large, under the bridge that leads upwards to the Crimson Paths, passing Ember Forge, going past Kindler's Causeway. It takes you a while to get through and navigate through the entire city. Not just because of the roads being very narrow, but there's people galore. People are trying to stop, like have a conversation, and you don't want to be rude, but it's also like get the fuck out the way. It's like when you're at the mall on like Black Friday and you're like, you know why I'm here. I know why you're here. I'm not trying to be rude, but get the move, walk faster, move. You know, like old man. Ah! It's like that's the energy that you guys are kind of like feeling right now. But as you approach Kindler's Causeway and you're deep within that district and you're continuing towards the family estate of the Ryland family estate, you see a couple of looks are now given to you. Not just passing glances, but a couple of like, and it takes one person to break the ice. This half orc kind of jogs up to you guys in full view, flags you down. Oi! Hey! You guys aren't from here, I can tell. I'm not sure if you guys, obviously you guys don't know, but I noticed you guys are heading, you guys are maybe about right here at this point.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I noticed you guys are heading towards the big house over there.
Is that an issue?
No, not an issue. I mean, people are different, you know. Not really anyone knows about them. I would just, I don't know your story, but just a person giving you a word of advice. Be careful, you know.
Can I make a?
Keep that in mind.
I want to.
Is it just because? Is it just because of like, hey, they're the foreigners who stayed, so everyone's kind of like aware of them. Yeah.
But it's like they're the foreigners who stayed and never tried to ingratiate in our
And
society.
never assimilated.
They never assimilated. So it's like,
It's like, hey, you're new in town.
Everyone
Everyone's
else
gonna watch
thinks
you
they're
do this. So
standoffish
now
and
you're gonna
weird,
have.
but they're just it's just
I'm a different culture.
It's kind of that thing of there's a this is a tight knit city and there's a noble house that doesn't talk to.
The
anybody.
very social city, and that family is all
Antisocial.
blood from somewhere
Yeah.
else where people
Yeah.
kill themselves. Yeah, it's fine. Thank you for your concern. But
Yeah, no problem. Just figured I'd pass it on. I know I would want someone to say the same thing to me. You guys, be safe. Kind of jogs past you guys.
Appreciate you, sir.
city's weird.
I think it's just more friendly than we're used to.
That's
like
why it's weird.
leagues above. You know what's interesting about that? Aren't we in like one of the most inhospitable places in the entire nation right now? How is that possible?
It's what happens when you have a nation worth of influence in a single city. All their assets are contained within a couple square miles.
Remember when we went to that city and the first thing they did was arrest us to show dominance? This is a
Fuck that place.
much of a different.
Correct. Yeah, none of us like that place. I don't want to go back
I
there.
don't remember that place. That place does not exist.
Willingly. Willingly forgetting that.
Anyway. Forward march.
You guys continue on. You see the large building of the estates, and now you kind of get why this guy came up to you and was like, "Hey, it might be weird. Like, be careful." Most of the houses here, even the like big houses, are maybe these terracotta 3 stories max, right? And they're very nearby other buildings and other houses. This sits as a lone bulwark of a home. It is a mansion. This massive, maybe 20-room, 4-story building with lands in front of it, and it's at the edge of the gap that leads into the Firelands. It's all of these things adding up together that is like, that's weird to the people that are not used to these people. You know, it's like, ugh. For you guys, seeing a manor like this, a mansion of this stature, isn't uncommon, and so it doesn't deter you. See these opulent
Halo.
oak wooden doors in the front. One of them is lightly ajar. And you see people, kind of workers, these servants working around. They're trimming up the hedges, they're tending to the palm trees, they're, extending their work as needs be. And as they see people walking up the kind of entryway into this the landscape and the acre that it sits on, a couple of them take in a jog, and not like a sprint, but just like, okay, we need to let someone know about this, that someone's arriving here before people just start banging on a door. See a couple of them, they go ahead, they go on this jog, they enter in the building. And then eventually, as you guys, before maybe you're 120 feet away from the first step that leads up to the awning that enters into this manor, you see a woman comes out. She's in this black dress with this white apron, very reminiscent of the Overland and Garixian old Empyrean culture. Her dress is the same, her hair is the same. There's this half elven woman. She has dark black hair that's maybe just past her ears, and she has a bangs, like a bob. The sheen of it is like her hair is very well kept despite the humid and hot environment. There's no frizzing. She has a little bonnet over her head that's tied under her chin very loosely, and she stands at attention, her hands clasped together in front of the white apron. She gives a quick bow as you guys are making your way up, but she doesn't stop you. She kind of waits for you to get closer, as there's that hesitant, like awkward half step of like, are we coming closer? Okay. You make your way up, and you're maybe about 10 feet from her, 5 feet from her, and she goes, I am Lonnie Duringal. I serve the family that owns this manor. Might I inquire as to what your business here is?
A number of months ago, we received a visitor at our home from one Simon Hostwood. I believe he was a ward of this home.
I see. Yes, Lord Hostward has informed the estate of his travels and what he has learned on them. I am not privy to such knowledge. I assume you would wish to speak with Lord Joffrey.
If it is possible, yes.
He is not in right now. You just missed him. He has headed to Valar's proving grounds to witness the challenge. I advised against it, but Lord Hostward believed it was a good way for him to get some much-needed fresh air.
Are you the the chamberlain of this house, the keeper of this estate?
Among other things, yes.
And then would it be your opinion that it'd be best for us to stay and relay our information with those of the Ryland family, or seek out Simon?
Give me a. I'm just gonna say persuasion check. It's not persuasion because you're not persuading her. I'm trying to. It's like a mix.
I want to know her.
Persuasion.
I want to know her opinion.
Yeah, it's like a mix between a persuasion and an insight. So I'll give you whichever one you want.
Persuasion probably.
Cool. It's not particularly high DC.
More of just to be like, hey, would it be better for us to like try and talk to the family now, or go get the person we know first?
Yeah.
Because we're strangers.
Yeah. Okay. She goes, I have not been informed of much of the ongoings between Lord Hostward and Lord Joffrin. But there have been many hollowed conversations in these halls within the last many years. If you have grave news to deliver, it might not be best to add another distasteful memory to the home in which he lays his head. She's essentially saying, like, this guy has been given a lot of bad news in the last many years, and it's all happened in this house. Maybe if you do have bad news to deliver, maybe don't
So,
give it.
so
in this
so it's
home.
not Simon who's at the training grounds. It's the Lord of the House. Is that
And Simon. And
and, okay,
Simon. Both
and
of them are
what's the leader's name? It's Joffrin.
He is Joffrin. Geoffrin.
Yeah, and so this person,
Okay.
the person's just saying. Don't
She
add
said,
anything.
like,
Okay,
she
so-
said Simon Hostward was like, hey, man, let's go out.
You
Like,
need to
let's
get some
fresh
air.
You need to
Yeah.
get the fuck out of the house.
Okay.
And he was like, okay, cool.
Okay. Then
It might also be good to ask Simon, like, should we deliver this news right now?
I think the news has already been delivered. I mean, he's here, and I kind of told him what happened. So, we will seek them out at the proving grounds then.
Be careful. The path doesn't have any borders on the bridge. There have been many unfortunate cases, now very slim, of people falling off. Just tread carefully.
Thank you for the warning. Okay, we can hunt them down.
Allow me to fill your water skins before you go. It would be improper to send you back into the heat without it. It'll just be one moment. And you see she doesn't extend an invitation to come inside. And you notice that pointedly. Like the proper thing to do, Marjorie and Rose specifically, you kind of understand. Like the proper thing is like come into a foyer, take a seat. We'll give you, even if the Lord of the House isn't here, we'll receive you and deliver it. She's like, I'll be right back. She comes out with fresh water skins, cold water in them, and she gives them all out to you. Not very
We're
large,
just,
just very
standing
small
at the
ones.
door.
Just standing
Is
at the
that
door.
the-
Yeah, it's very weird. It's very weird.
Yeah.
And I try to peek inside as she like goes in and out, just to see like, is there some sort of bad visual that she's trying to hide?
No, I mean it's there's no candles inside the house. There's candlelight in the distance in maybe like a side room, but in the front area, it's just darkness. The only thing that comes in is like light. Not used to visitors.
This is a depressed house.
Full of depressed people. Will fit right in. Anyway, on to the.
Well, you make
Do
your
we
way,
have to walk-
fortunately, not
we have to
too
walk
far.
this?
No, you just got to go here.
Thank God. Okay, I thought we had to walk
Yeah,
this like
no.
long wall. Like, oh Jesus!
You make your way towards the kind of entry dome to Valor's Proving Ground, and you see what the fuck this place is. And one thing does catch all of your eyes. Valor's Proving Ground is one of the only ways that an outsider can receive a Firewatch Charter. A Firewatch Charter is a specific deed. That means you are recognized to enter and exit to the Firelands. It is a one-time use. You use it, you leave, and then upon returning, you turn it back in. It is one of the only ways an outsider can leave to the Firelands. It's not just outsiders, but normal people that live here are not going to fight. They're like, I'm good. I'm not going out that shit.
This is a hey. Let's validate. We know what the fuck you're doing before we send you out to die.
Bingo. It's like if you're gonna die, at least it's not on our hands for just being like, sure. The way it works is very simple. There are 6 elders in Valor's Rest. Each of them has a champion. Should any one challenger defeat 3 of those 6 champions, they are given a Firewatch Charter. And you see many other. This is probably the most people like yourselves that you have seen in the city since arriving this day. You see many people dressed in different garbs, different uniforms, different gear on their backs, and they're all in groups like yourselves. And you get the sense that the charter doesn't just extend to one person, because they're choosing, like, all right, listen, there's this group of maybe 4 or 5, they're pushing the barbarian on his back, this massive human man, and they're like, all right, you got this. We're gonna need to get there because we gotta find so on and so forth. We gotta hunt so on and so forth. And it's the same kind of conversation in different colors. You guys are not here for that. Not just yet. You pass by towards the audience room, kind of going down into this large coliseum. You see it is suspended by chains over the maw, over this large gap between Valar's Rest and the Firelands, suspended by these massive chains. Each link itself is probably the size of half of that mansion that you saw. You're looking around, all of you, for like, okay, is there like a noble's box? We're looking for a noble. We're looking for someone. You guys don't find anyone until there's a quick push, Cedric, on your back. As someone kind of nudges you, hey,
Oh,
and you
Oh.
turn, you see the same, the dark skin, shaved bald head, the small black goatee, and the white and gold armor of Simon Hostward.
hey, there you are.
Master Hand, good to see you. I
Good
didn't
to see
think
you.
you'd be making it. So much time has passed since we've seen each other.
Yeah, the journey was long in and of itself, and then we had some complications on the road that made it take far longer than it probably should have.
Yes, I understand how that works out. Cassian, it's good to see you. Arceus. I assume these are the rest of the people you mentioned when I was breaking and entering. Not so much breaking, but
All but
entering for
one,
sure.
who's would not get out of the bathhouse, but you can meet her later, I'm sure.
It is a very, for those that are inclined to that type of behavior, from what I hear, a very eventful time.
Why is everyone talking about bathhouse like that?
Don't worry about
You
it.
should go. You really should try it.
Alright.
All of you.
It's
Truly.
just AJ. That's not him. No, I'm just kidding.
That is absolutely hostile.
I kind of want to give an inside check on that because one thing for like a ram guy to do is he's interacting with us like you should go.
Mm-hmm.
Can I read it?
This is era. This is
It's up to
era now
you.
going, what do you mean?
No, it's up to you, bro. I mean, there's no insight check that's gonna tell you what he means.
Okay.
Everyone
But he's
but
definitely
era
like
knows.
he's definitely it's the same thing as before
Every
of
game.
like, hey, listen, man. Every person that's in the city is like, oh, outsider? The bathhouse? You guys about the bathhouse? Check it out.
Go.
Check it out.
It's a
You
local
should go.
favorite.
You should
It-
check
it's
it
Before you
out.
leave, it's a must see.
It sounds like it's not only a bathhouse but also a brothel. That's what I'm getting. the
Oh,
hint of.
gee, really?
Oh, gee
Not a
whiz.
brothel.
Where'd you
Not a
reference?
brothel. Not a
Man,
brothel.
No one said
you're
that.
fucking. Never mind.
You know in Red Dead you can take the deluxe bath?
I'll just say this. A brothel means that you have to pay for it.
Okay.
I'll let y'all interpret that however you want.
Thank you.
This city's been
Thank you.
arbitrated.
Aaron,
Thank you,
Aaron.
Simon.
okay.
Join our area. We don't have many seats, but come with me. I can try to accommodate you all. He kind of steps up. He doesn't even
Don't
wait. He's just like, come
mean-
on. Oh, come on.
Okay.
We'll talk. Let's get comfortable. The first challenge is about to begin. We need to see and watch. He climbs up a couple of stairs, and you see that he's well known. They're like, Simon! He's like, hey, good to see you. Shakes a hand here. Kind of sees a little boy, runs up. It kicks him in his shin with his armor, and he goes, ah! Rubs the kid's hair and pushes up, and then you see a sickly young man. The man is maybe 20 years old, 19 years old. He has a frail constitution. He has, very much so, he has brown curly hair that's Cassian very familiar. It's not a spitting image, but you're like, oh, I get it. Like, I see it. You know, it's like, oh, I can see that. His shoulders, you see like the cloth the linens and cloth that are around his shoulders, while they're small and he's a small man, they're loose on his frame. And then you see his wrists. And you're like, oh no, he's a sickly young man. Like, this man does not have a constitution. His cheeks are sunken in. He is too young to look this old. He goes, Joffrin. Simon. I brought guests, and you see that this young boy is flanked by maybe 8 guards. They're not dressed in Firewatch emblems. They're not dressed in the City Watch of Valar's Rest. They're dressed in their own house's crest. With a not exactly the same crest, Cassian, but it is a silver blade. There's no pommel. There's no hilt. It is just a blade underneath a half sun. And you see he has a small little brooch on his chest that clasps over this very thin cloak. He struggles to get up, but as he stands, he goes, hello, it's nice to meet you all. I am Joffrin Ryland of the Ryland family. You guys exchange your names, and he goes, please sit. Um, could you please go grab us some grapes and wine? Anyone? Do any of you partake?
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Two
Appreciate it.
wines,
Thank you so much.
three wines. Any more?
Well,
Four wines, wonderful. And none for Simon. I think he's drank too much. Too much is calling it, but I trust your judgment. Yes. Yeah. And he sits back down. You see the guards are eyeing you, like not like with a like I hate you, but it's like you can actually everyone give me an insight check.
I'm great at this.
Me too.
9.
me 3.
Natural 20 from K.
11.
Dirty 20.
Bang!
K knows guards. K knows guards.
Bang! Cedric and Kokotai. You see there is a fierce loyalty, almost a scary amount. Oh damn, bro!
Oh my god. Oh, crazy.
Damn!
Wasting it on the
fierce
inside
loyalty.
checks.
These maybe 6 to 8 guards, they're watching your every movement and then looking back at the young lord. They're watching over him like a duck mother would watch over their ducklings. Like every move, they're like, and it's not like a jitter, but there's definitely like a we will protect this young man with our lives. This is not just a job.
Do the guards seem like locals?
Some of them do, but there's the 2 that are on his closest. Other than just Simon Hostward, there are 2 that are on his closest. Most of their faces are covered, but they do have the the fold. I don't know what the official term is, but the folding helmet. When he tries to talk to them and they try to talk back, they have to lift their helmet so he can hear their words. Speaking in these very soft tones, not because he's hard of hearing, but because just the volume. And you can tell he's a bit uncomfortable with the cheers as the first 2 combatants approach in the center of this arena. The cheers almost gives him a little wince. Maybe 1 or 2 of them are not local, but the rest of them are, and they still have that same loyalty. All of them are older. Like the youngest one is maybe mid-30s, and the oldest one is maybe like early 50s.
I think we will just kind of wait for him to get to the topic of like, hey, so why are you here? What do you want? And
Yeah.
kind of allow, because we're guests. Let him.
Yeah. You're trying to be respectful and wait, Cassian, and there's a stillness in the air. There's that bubble that's waiting to be popped. Like you're like, talk to me, dog. Like, okay, like an hour has passed by, and there's like light chatter, and most of it is small talk, and you can tell he's doing the rigmarole of like, so tell me, where are you from? But it's nothing specific of like, why are you here? Like your intentions of being here are not yet. They're all like, oh, random other noble. Where are you from?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Do you enjoy that? Like he's
Yeah.
getting you to talk about yourself more than he talks about him.
Does Simon seem to clock like, I know why you're here? I mean, I told him like, I'm gonna come here and do this.
I'll say Rose, Kay, and Cedric. Simon is looking at you all and back to Joffrin with a protectiveness of not just him, but also of you guys. There's like that, like both like, let's just enjoy the day. But he's also like understanding like that's not a possibility. So I get it. But
Like waiting
he's
for
like,
the
I
boot
would
to drop.
love he's like, I would love for nothing more than to us just shut the fuck up and never talk about what needs to be talked about. But it's gotta be talked about. And like there's definitely that like, and you can see he's trying to urge him. He's like, Joffrin, don't be rude. Like, tell them about yourself. And then he gives like base information and stuff like that. You learn he's the youngest son and the only surviving son of his father. I had his fucking name. Had his fucking name. Had his fucking name. I don't know where his dad's name is. But yeah, can't find
Jonathan.
it. It's gonna piss me off.
He's
John.
the old Lord Ryland. This is his only.
Yeah,
this is
oh
his
Lord
only
Ryland.
only survivor. Sorry.
Only surviving son.
That's
Doesn't-
brutal.
with the 3 people who got like natural 20s on this, does it seem like that he himself
Luther.
is simply avoiding asking why we're here, as if he's like assuming it's bad news?
Yeah, very much so. Absolutely.
Okay, just double checking on that. Can I try to whisper something to Simon? If that's all right with you, Bryn. I know this is your
Brownies.
just like while they're talking to Cassian, I'll just say quietly to him, would you prefer if we wait until after the fights?
He doesn't give you an answer. He just kind of leans back in his chair and just looks towards the fights, looks towards Joffrin, and he's like, "That's not for me to tell you." You know, like you get the sense he's like, "I can't tell you that." He's like it needs to be delivered. I would love if it was never delivered, but it
Okay.
needs to be. And it's like there's no right way to do this. It's either you rip the fucking band-aid off here and now, or you blow it up and wait for the like it to boil over and stain the like stove. You know, so it's like there's no right answer here. There's no wrong answer here.
All right. Then I'll just leave it to Cat. And I won't say anything else.
I'm gonna give it like 10 more minutes, and then I'm just gonna kind of like put my hand on Cassian's back and just like a gentle like push, like it's not gonna get easier the longer we wait. We did this. We wanted to come here to say it here instead of at his house, right?
If I may, Lord Rylan, it is my
Joffrin is fine. I prefer it. Sorry, it was rude to interrupt you.
it is my understanding that you are aware of our previous meeting with Simon.
Yeah, in some capacity.
Simon
I'm
was looking for information that I have now. We have come this way to deliver to you. I have looked for your family for some time. I was unable as where to find you until Simon located us and told us where we may exchange this information. In a way, I was a ward of Lady Elizabeth. Am I correct in understanding that she was your sister?
Yeah, my oldest.
I was an orphan, and she took me into her troop, the Court of Swords. We were together for many years. Unfortunately, the world is a cruel place. I count myself among the only survivors of that troop. I know not the fate that befell your sister. I never found any sign of what became of her. However, and I will like slowly
As
and
you're
calmly.
reaching in, you hear him kind of whisper to himself, "So she could be alive." And then Simon kind of puts a hand on his wrist and gently squeezes it. And he, probably the most force you've seen from this young man, he kind of like pulls his wrist back.
I cannot say what has become of her. I only know that the enemy that pursued us did so with a cruelty that is seldom seen. And it is my belief that he would not have wished for there to be any survivors. I have something for you if you would take it.
So he kind of sniffles, and there's tears that start to well in the corner of his eyes. Not now, if that's okay.
Of course.
So he takes a bite of a grape and just slowly chews it, longer than you should for one grape.
I understand that this is not pleasant news. It was important to me that I find those of your family, and give this information myself as one who studied under her and cared for her very deeply.
Thank you for coming all this way to deliver that message. It means a lot.
Of course.
Forgive me, I'm being rude. Would you all like another glass of wine or food? There's one more challenge left.
I'm okay. I
think we
appreciate your
will
offer.
abstain.
He looks to one of the guards. Can I please have a glass of wine, please? And they go, Lord Joffrin, I don't think I would like a glass of wine now. As you wish.
Looking at this man, unwell child, is this unwellness more of like he hasn't been eating and less of like he actually has an illness?
I'll say on
Yeah,
your
sure.
nat 20, I'll say on your nat 20 insight, I'll kind of extend it. Yeah. Yeah, like it's not that like he was born sick, you know? It's like he hasn't been eating. And even as like you kind of make that connection, he's picking at his food like a bird, not hungrily like scarfing it down. The big bowl of grapes that's there they're basically a big bowl for every two people. Simon has taken a large amount, eating them hungrily and trying to put some brevity in this very difficult situation for his friend. But you see this young man, Lord Ryland, is picking one grape at a time. It's a weird thing to bite into a grape. It's like, oh, I want to taste something, but like I'm not hungry.
This entire time has not touched any of the refreshments or food.
He's just picking at it very, very seldomly.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, Kay specifically hasn't touched anything. But Kay notices like the sickness that's making this boy unhealthy is depression. This is something he's
Among
taken.
other things, yeah.
Among other things.
Probably what started the other things. I think I don't really have anything else that I need to say right now. I definitely want more information, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna ask him.
For sure. You see Simon, there's a tense silence. Somebody goes, Joffrin, Rochefort is fighting, right? You said that you wanted to see him fight. Come on. Kind of pats him on the back and wraps an arm, squeezes
Are
his
they
shoulder.
the same
sleeve.
age, roughly?
No, Simon is like 30s. Simon is like mid to
30
late 30s.
compared to
Yeah.
young 20s on this kid?
Yeah, he's
So,
like 20.
older
19,
brother when he was a
20.
ward.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
For certain. For certain. You see this challenger come up there. They're bruised and they're beaten, but they're fighting. They've fought through two challenges, and they're on their last one. And you see this man, definitely not from Segoria. He dresses very studiously. And Marjorie and Rosemary, and Cedric, give me a history check.
Okay.
Anything for you, AJ?
I like when I get to roll dices. Let's go.
You said that with such a
I
ill-gotten
love,
voice. Oh.
I love it when the math rocks do their clickety clacks.
22.
22.
Oh,
Yeah.
+8. Who cares?
Natural
Okay.
20.
Oh
but
my
24.
god! Cedric and Marjorie, you have availed yourselves to learning. Rose, probably aptly, kind of funny how the dice are kind of pushing this. Hey, bro, fuck these noble families and all that shit. I'm gonna fuck about that. Teach me magic.
Yeah, fuck
Cedric
that.
and Marjorie, you both have kind of availed yourself to that study of like the noble families and like, what are major things, specifically in like the areas that I would potentially find myself in. Cedric, you're not sure why you know this, whether it's up to you to determine, but Marjorie, you know for certain. Le Chaux. That is the last name of this man. It is a Eustamissian name.
That?
It is Leauchaud.
He's French.
Oh,
Lechard?
is it like, yeah.
Le Chaux. Le Chaux.
That's not his name anymore.
Le Chaux. You see from the last name, this is a Leylindian last name, surname. It is from a uh, long line of elves. They are some of the first blade singers. In fact,
What's
there's many arguments I'll give to you, Marjorie and Cedric, of like, did it start with this family? Did they create it, or did they just make it popular? And that's a big point of contention. A blade singer is a wizard that is capable of martial fighting. So they use magic as a wizard and their intellect to bolster their fighting. He pulls out a rapier and with a quick flourish brings it up, very like Three Musketeers, brings it down. This very rough warrior rushes forward. The weapons are blunted for the safety of the combatants, brings it down, sidesteps it with one movement, hits the wrist as he drops the weapon, looks around, and he's a performer. You can tell he's a performer. As he disarms him, he turns his back to the opponent, turns to the crowd, gives a bow. You see this human picks up the weapon, spins it wildly as he ducks under backwards. The flexibility in the back bends in this very unique way, sliding under it, disarming him again, and doing the same thing. And then it's a very quick remainder of the fight. This human picks up their blunted great axe, swinging wildly, 1, 2, 3, as he's dodging, pushing, very much like Achilles and Hector in Troy, as their Hector's pushing forward, the momentum carrying him, dodging, slapping the weapon away, parrying one attack, dodging again, until eventually he loses balance. You see this elf grabs him by the scruff of his clothing and then puts the blade to his throat. And then there are claps and cheers as the guy. And then as he turns, the elf grabs his wrist and raises his hand up, and they do a bow, and there are claps and jeers as they both leave. And you see, while the news that was delivered was grim, Simon is like, Joffrey, did you see that? Did you see that? Like on a higher level to hype this kid up. He's like, did you see? Did you see? Yeah. And it's definitely trying to work on his spirits. And you see Joffrey is like, this was fun. You see people start leaving and he's waiting at like the end of the credits. Like you gotta wait a bit until all the people leave before you get up. Until eventually he gets up. Would you all like to join me for dinner tonight? It's the least I can do to thank you for traveling this far to deliver words.
Be honored.
Mhm.
Great. He gets up and he begins to leave with his guards, but Simon kind of pats him. I'll catch up with you. I think that went as well as it could have gone, all things considered.
Yeah.
This could be considered as treason by some. But you said something the last time I met you that has given me much to think about. It is one of the only things I have not told Lord Joffrin.
Being
You made an accusation, and I don't never, in the small time I met you, I don't believe you're a lying man or a deceitful person. But it was a heavy accusation, and I just wanted to impart some knowledge back to you. Lord Magnaris is here.
I am not the most educated. You may have to give me some
Siegfried
information.
Magnaris.
Why?
As I stated to you before, he's an old family friend. The Magnaris and Ryland families go back for generations. I've said as much to you. I will give you my thanks that that bit of knowledge was not said at this very time.
Is Joffrin associated with Siegfried?
As much as they can be through their familial ties. But the Ryland family isn't what it used to be just 20 years ago when I was a boy. With the
We
death of
see.
Tomas and the disappearance, and he lingers on the word disappearance, and then he decides it's the right one of Lisbeth. That has fallen on the young lord's shoulders.
Amos being his predecessor.
The oldest son, the middle child.
What happened to
That's
him?
why I wanted to speak to you. We should grab a drink first. And time. Forgive me, the name is rough on my tongue.
You can call me Kay. That's easy.
Hey, if you want, you can always grab a drink at the bathhouse. You know, I think you might really enjoy it. But all jokes aside, let's go somewhere else to have a drink and sit down and talk. I know we're having dinner, but well, based on the little lord's eating habits, there's not going to be much food or a feast. I've already told one of his escorts to prepare something. The coffers are extensive, given that they aren't really utilized. So grab a quick bite. And between you and me, Lonnie isn't the best cook. Don't tell her I said that. She can hurt me.
Yeah, it'll look like okay.
Question for a DM. Can you say Siegfried's last name again for me? I just didn't have time to write it down.
Magnerus. Magnerus.
Thank you.
That's the last name right there. Nearest.
All right.
You follow Simon.
And
he
he's
takes
here?
you- He's here, is what he says. But you haven't noticed any. Like, listen, when you guys saw them in Fort Uroth, they moved in a large force. Large force. You can't hide that large of a force in this city. There's no banners, there's no horses, there's no wagons that show that insignia. If he's here, it dawns on you all, he's here alone.
What was his troop again? What was his troop
Black
named
Eagles.
again?
Black Eagles.
Black.
The
Eagles.
emblem is red on a black banner. The eagle itself is red, but it is the Black Eagles.
Okay. I was thinking about it today, and I was like,
He takes you to this very, small, very local tavern, the Loose Buckle. It's very close by, so you don't have to walk too far. He sees this dwarven woman. She gives him a nod. Let me get 7 of my regular. He pulls out a gold piece, puts it on the table, and slides it forward. You can just keep the rest. You know I'm a good tipper. You're a tipper. She comes out, she slides these dark ales to each of you. Drink up. If you're going to be attending dinner, it's always nice to have a bit of a buzz beforehand. Conversations aren't bad, but they just aren't conversations. But maybe that'll change with more people there. He takes a big sip, places it down. I wanted to talk about Tomas. There are 3 children of Luther Island. Lisbeth, Tomas, and Joffrin. Lisbeth was the oldest. She was set to inherit the late Lord's lands, his titles and everything. She surrendered that. I came into their home as a ward maybe 20 years ago, a bit more. I was nearly 10 years old, a bit younger. I didn't spend much time with her, but I spent much time with Tomas. Elizabeth decided that a higher calling was one that she wanted to follow. She had always been a faithful woman. She'd always been a fierce woman. And I believe that even Lord Rylan knew this, for he never tried to stop her, never deterred her. He accepted her choice and saw her off. But that meant that it passed to Tomas, who was far too young, while his father was far too ill. Tomas moved the Ryland family around 3 times before his passing. He was not a bad man. He lost his father very young, and his sister was out of his home and out of his life for the majority of his life. He had many vices, and those vices manifested in debts and addictions and other various means of pleasure. And for a while, it was just Tomas, myself, and Joffrin. I had no stature. I could only act as what little position I had, a supporting role for the both of them. Tomas and I were in similar age, and while I loathe to admit it, I often accompanied him when he asked me. I urged him at times, and at times I didn't. Before long, Tomas decided that Valar's Rest was the family's next venture. He spent nearly all of the family's wealth getting here, erecting that manor that you've seen, I'm sure. And he continued to enjoy his vices. And then he made a choice. And Joffrin was the one that found him. For a boy that young to see the only family he has left in that state, please give nothing but as much understanding as you can, even if he makes mistakes, even if he makes decisions that none of us will agree with. Give the boy grace and understanding. That is all that I can ask of you.
Of course.
That family's history is very dark, especially in the recent years. I have never met Lord Magnaris in an official capacity. I've seen him. I've introduced myself, but never anything more than pleasantries. And I will say the same as I've said to you, not to devalue your story or what you say to be false or true. In my experience, he seems like an honorable man. And I don't know how me telling you that will make you feel, but it is my truth that I have to explain to you. He has aided Lord Joffrin in much in rebuilding his family's wealth. Just be very careful with the words that come out of your mouths. I would really appreciate it. You are under no obligation to, but just a favor from just the man that entered your home when you were sleeping.
Do what I can.
That's really the extent of all we can do. Now, Kay, are you going to go to the bathhouse, or...
No.
Because I would like to know. No? I mean, I don't understand why not. I mean, what about you, Cedric? You don't want to go?
Spoken for. Can't do it.
Arceus? You don't want to go?
Not the time.
What's the problem with the bathhouse? I mean, you all don't want to get clean, from what I
Are
hear.
you trying to say we need it?
I'm just saying, you know, sometimes the waters and other things can loosen your muscles.
Anyway, we are actually not just here to try and see Joffrin. It was a pleasant coincidence. We are trying to make our way into the Firelands.
Oh, you're serious?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why in God's name would you want to do that?
My friend asked us to.
Well, That's easier said than done.
Which is why I'm bringing it up.
I cannot accept or deny, of course,
Mhm.
but I will tell you things that I'm sure Lord Joffrin won't. For a noble family to endorse an outsider to enter the Firelands is. It will put Lord Joffrin in an unusual position, more so than he already is now, with the rest of Valar's Rest. While not a negative position, there will be no harm that befalls him, of course, but there's a tense balance that Lord Joffrin has maintained with the six elders of Valar's Rest. I am not saying that that would break that balance, but I think it could be a weight on that glass that eventually could.
So you're asking that maybe we don't ask this of him.
I'm not telling you what not to do and what to do. I'm just giving you all the information.
I understand that going under trials of the proving ground is a way of getting such entry into the Firelands. Are there other means? Tell us of what options we do have. Whether we use
The
them or
main
not.
one, of course, the main one is obviously, as you said, the proving grounds. I have heard stories of smugglers that hang around the Ashen Steps that excel. However, this is highly illegal. And while they may smuggle you there, smuggling you back puts you entirely at their mercy. I've also heard of forgery. The Firewatch Charter isn't a particularly difficult document to replicate. But there are small intricacies in the seal. The wax stamp itself can be modified. It's something most people can learn to do should they choose to do so. But it is a grave crime. Both of them are. The red cells below the forums are not hospitable, to say the least. But again, I understand any proclivity to get there to help a friend out is an option.
Tell us about the proving grounds.
Proving grounds is unique. You really take your chances. It's not uncommon for many outsiders. They elect their own champion. There are 3 bouts, one with each of the elders' champions. But there are 6 elders, and you only face 3. You could get lucky, for they are not all equal. Or as the challenger we saw today,
individual based.
Individual based, but a charter allows entry for a group. I'm sure you saw some of the people there.
Only one of us has to win, in theory.
Theory. But like I said, you could get unlucky. You could face some of the more skilled.
There's no group bouts. It's all individual trials.
Valar was the founder of this city, of course. His legendary might is told all across the city and even in the Firelands. He alone gathered all of the clans of the Firelands and bent them to his will. He unified them. And for a time, Sigoria, from my understanding, from what I've read and learned, was a unified nation. But, as all men do, they pass. And in the few short years, Valar's successors they didn't inspire loyalty or enforce it as Valar did. The Proving Grounds are a pseudo retelling of that story. Testing your might, using it to invoke your will.
Is there a way to rest between bouts?
Yes, I mean, from what I've heard, the challengers are treated well. There's about maybe a few hours in between each bout.
Okay.
Weapons are blunted, of course. Most of them are given from the proving grounds. And suffice to say, bets are made of a very, very lucrative degree. It's a large economic boon for the city. It has been for years, since the Burning Gate was erected.
Whoever came up with this thing, I'm saying allocator. Whoever came up with this thing is very clever.
And a
gives people a way-
sadist. Ugh.
Well, it gives people a way to get out of the Firelands, well, into the Firelands, and they don't ask for payment because the payment is being the thing to go in there. So it's very,
Anyhow,
very
yeah.
clever.
You don't pay to enter, you just go. Yeah, which question?
Is there like expiration date on these things? Like if 3 of us want to try to do the proving grounds and like 2 of us win, can we use one to get in now and then like
Only
10 months from now use another one?
Oh, yes.
You
So
just have to
you don't like hoard.
yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
hoard like a charter, right? You can't hoard a charter. Every person, every group of people can carry one charter at a time,
Okay,
and you expend it to leave, and then you expend it to come back.
gotcha. Okay, so we wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
like 2 of us win whenever we like next session whenever we do it.
Yeah.
2 of us.
Because
couldn't
in
do
your
it.
charter, it says these are the people that are passing by. These are the
Mm.
people that will go there, and these are the people that we're expecting to receive.
Gotcha. Cool.
And is there like a time limit of like, let's say Cassian goes, but the last guy gets him? Can somebody else try?
Is it what happened? Yeah, what happens on failures? Is it
For
cool? Out of the
failures,
six,
there's essentially a cooldown because these champions are not
you
sitting there
fail.
like
You
let's
fail
go.
once, you reset.
You reset. You have to be all
Okay.
3. And the way it works is
Okay.
it's not like, all right, well, I failed. We're gonna try immediately again. It's like no, these are events. These are scheduled events. So it's like, all right, on this day next week, I'm beating the fuck out of y'all.
Yeah.
Bet.
Yeah.
It's not like
Question, how
it's
far?
maybe like a couple days in between. Go ahead, Marjorie.
Russia?
Couple days. I was just gonna ask how far apart each event is.
Couple days, because it's not like lethal combat, but it will leave you with a couple of bruises,
If you
just
fail,
enough to like,
you have to wait a couple
yeah.
days. Yeah.
yeah, just because that's when the event is held. Like the champions are not going to sit there and just fight. They're like, no, this is what I get paid to do.
This is my Monday and Friday.
Yeah. It's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna fight, and then I'm gonna rest my bruises, and then I'm gonna go again. Because if they did, then they would be weaker for every subsequent challenger.
And there's also a thing of technically, even if you can rest for a few hours, who's ever fighting gets slowly their once per day resources get spent, and it seems like they equip us, so we can't come in
They
with like
equip
crazy.
you. They equip you.
So you can't come in with like crazy.
It is a test of might. It is a test of might. It is a test of battle.
Is magic allowed? Like if you have some magic? Nope, gotta be full skill.
It's very difficult for spellcasters, just
Interesting.
spellcasters, to go into the. It is
And
very
spellcasters,
difficult
you
for
say.
a group of. It is very difficult for a group of spellcasters to just go through, like outsider spellcasters, to go into the Firelands, because many of the things that will attack you in the Firelands and assail you are monsters, monstrous creatures with thick hides, sharp scales, sharp teeth. Magic can absolutely help, but it means nothing when they're eating your guts out.
Yeah, you need at least one.
It could also
person.
be. I mean, it could be cultural as well. I mean, there's a warrior culture.
Yeah.
As social and friendly as it is. Interesting.
So
And
ma-
kind of extending past just Valar's Rest, the Firelands are a
Yeah, clans.
whole host of
Clans,
roving
yeah.
clans. They don't give a fuck about magic. These are people that are like, let's fucking box on sight. They don't give a fuck about magic.
Yeah.
So I think we know who's going in the arena for us.
Do you?
I do.
Those are the three main ways. The only other way that Simon tells you is you can be endorsed by the elders. An outsider being endorsed by the elders hasn't happened in over 100 years.
Yeah, so we gotta like
would
save the city level
what
thing.
would be what would even bring that conversation about? Is it
People from the Firelands coming in, nomadic troops, nomadic clans that are not non-violent, nomadic clans that come into the city, trade their wares, and then they are given leave to go back out. They also help the economic system
Yeah.
of Valar's Rest, but they are not members of the city. They
so
live in
they
the Fire.
have elder permission? That's what
Mhm.
that looks like.
Exactly.
Okay. So it seems that the most efficient way, at least for us right now, would simply be to try improve ourselves.
That is one way. But again, speaking to Joffrin, it is a, I loathe to admit it, it is a valid thought process. I wouldn't fault you. I would probably suggest the same thing if I were in your shoes. I'll be very clear. While by no means an elder, the amount of economic influence that Lord Joffrin and his family hold over the city cannot be understated. When they came here, much, much gold, platinum, gems, jewels were given to the city. There was a breach maybe a year before we got here, and all of the repairs to the Burning Gate, to the walkways over the gap, were funded by the Ryland family. An endorsement from him is as close as you're going to get to an endorsement from an elder.
Without
It's a last resort, maybe. I would not want to create some undue hardship for him. He's already seeming to have a lot on his plate.
Of course.
Let us say for now, then, that we will intend on challenging these champions moving forward.
I will be glad to see it.
I guess we'll just need to decide who's going in as like a Cassian.
Conversation for another day, as there are no more challenges to be had today, of course. So, finishes his drink. Anything else you guys want to get off your chest before we head to dinner?
You said that there was some that are better to fight than others. You want to give us someone that we should hope to get and someone we shouldn't? Just so then we know what might be coming for us.
Yeah, we saw the challengers today. Some
Yeah,
at
you saw the
least.
challengers. You saw a couple of the champions. You saw there was one challenger today.
Yeah,
Because again, it's not a major thing of like people are like, yeah, let's do
It's
it,
common.
and then they see one person do it and they're like, oh fuck.
Oh, maybe I don't.
I'm like, maybe I don't. Maybe I
Yeah.
don't.
Well,
From
yeah,
what
that's why-
we
yeah,
saw,
that's
did
why-
it seem like, damn, I got a snowball's chance in hell?
Not a snowball's chance in hell, but like the first two, you're like, okay, I can, obviously not really paying attention, you specifically, but like Ark, K kind of looking downwards. It's like, okay, we could probably like those first two would be rough, but we could take it. The last guy, he was cooking. Nah, he was cooking. There's one other name that did not fight today that Simon does tell you about. Sir Briar Jochin. He's a Frugarian knight. Now, I'm not a big understander of Frugarian culture, but I didn't believe they had knights there.
Could ask. Yes, Gwenda.
He is a formidable champion as well. His weapon is a sight to behold. He and Rochefort are on both sides of the same coin. It's humorous to see a man of that size carry a weapon that big.
you mean that he is large and his weapon is even larger, or he is small and his weapon is large?
He is
Maybe
of
he's
a
large,
grand
maybe he's very
stature.
small.
Ah,
And that is the only words that anyone will ever catch me speaking about it.
that is very fair. I'm imagining like a gnome barbarian right now.
Anything else before you head to dinner?
Does he say who we should hope we get? Like who might be the weakest of the champions?
It's not that. It's just like you should probably hope who you don't get, and it's those two.
Everyone has their different skill sets, so it's
Yeah.
not like yeah.
All right, let me pull this up.
All right, so we have the dinner to go to, right?
Yep. Just pulling my notes up for that. You guys follow Simon back, heading inside the manor. You can now see that there are candles that are lit up. You know, it's like people like, okay, let's prepare for guests. But there's a freshly wiped, large amount of dust, and it's hard to like very clean a house within like a couple hours. You can tell that they probably started cleaning the second you guys left, on the off chance that someone would be invited here. But there's like the small like bundles of dust that gather in the corners by the baseboards of the house. You're taken to a small little dressing room, a foyer, placed down. Small refreshments are served with Simon, and you see a bunch of servants, but there's no other people in the house other than just servants, Simon, and you all. Lord Joffrin is nowhere to be found. You see that Lonnie makes her way towards you after you guys have been kind of snacking on like a little pre-meal. If you all would accompany me to the dining room, we have a wonderful roast boar prepared for you all today. Stands up, you follow her, you take your seats, and it's a very long table. Maybe one that could fit 12 people, a max, which is not small by any means. But it is, you know, for a manor of this size, to only be equipped to house 12 people at a time, is just a testament of how little visitors and how little traffic comes into this building. You sit down, and Lord Joffrin is nowhere to be seen yet. See, there are looks exchanged between Lonnie and Simon, and then she leaves herself as she places a big boar down. She leaves the room, and maybe 10 minutes later, you see Joffrin, this young man at 20, kind of leaning on her with a small cane, coughing. Thank you, Lonnie. It smells good. Hello, you all. I trust Simon welcomed you in, so I couldn't be there myself. I was attending to other matters. But let's eat.
Does it look like he's been crying? Like that was his other matters?
No.
Oh.
He starts to cut the boar, and it's like he struggles to do it, like he's cutting uneven slices, and then Simon slowly gets up and pats him on the shoulder, and he starts cutting it. And in the center of the table, there's this large strip of boar, and you guys eat in silence for the majority, unless there's anything you guys want to do.
I'm just gonna look around at the house because, like you said, it looks like it's minimally maintained, like just enough to be somewhat presentable. Are there guards inside? What's their reactions to us?
The same as they were at the proving grounds. They're like looking at you, looking back at the Lord, looking at you, looking back at the Lord.
Very vigilant. Okay. This is Cassian's connection. It's okay. We'll be cut silent.
Can I make an observation?
Please.
You two are noble ladies, are you not?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
You're very young, you know. I mean, I am too. I can just
Thanks.
kind of tell by the way you know, eat your food. Well, one of you at least. But just, you know, how this doesn't seem awkward to you like the rest of everyone. None offense.
No, it's very comfortable, thank you.
Your surname, if I can ask?
We've won.
Oh, I don't know it. But I would like to know more about your family history. I always want to do my duty and extend alliances where I can.
There's not much history. Our father gave himself that last name. We're the first of his kin.
Oh, so he wasn't always a noble. That's interesting. Maybe after our meal, you two can kind of tell me a bit more.
Sure. Just
Okay.
kind of.
May I
Listen,
ask you a
watching this
question?
is- oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
You moved here, from what I've heard. Sorry if that's more than I should know. A while ago. Any chance you like music from where you used to live? Or ever got to hear any when you were a young age that stuck out to you? I'm a
I
musician
don't.
by trade.
Oh, wonderful. Is that trade fruitful?
It gets by when adventuring isn't enough, I suppose.
Well, from what I'm told, adventuring hardly isn't enough.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where I'm fortunate enough to be able to do both, so it doesn't have to keep up. Though for me, I'd rather just spread a good message than make a lot of money, if that's fair to say.
Makes a lot of sense. But to answer your question, I'm not a huge fan of music. It's very loud, oftentimes, and
Hmm, understood. Just thought I'd offer, but as you stated, I will withhold.
So besides for watching the fights, what else is fun to do in the city?
he just looks to Simon. Not because like there's like an underlying thing. It's just like he's like, oh, Simon. And
A
Simon
lot of
goes,
things about this bathhouse.
you see, he kind of gets red and he goes, oh, I don't go there. I wouldn't go there. Somebody goes, Joffrin, they need to go there. You know that they need to experience it at least once. Well, I've never experienced it, yes, because you are not allowed to go. But they are very much allowed to go, and they very much should. You keep saying that, but I don't know what it means.
Kota does not
Not
mean something.
allowed. Not allowed to go is a bold statement.
I mean, from what I'm told, they say that, you know, it'd be better if I don't see all that.
This is a confusing city.
I, hmm, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut, actually.
Simon goes, well, I mean, as far as fun, really just takes your pick of what kind of fun you'd like. There's always drinking games and contests being held at any tavern when the sun goes down. There's also a very well, disliked activity that many of the locals do, the younger ones, so I wouldn't suggest it. They stand over the gap. They see how far close they can get to the edge before someone gives up, so to speak. It's not a great game, but it is one of testing courage or just playing horse, so to speak.
I wouldn't be surprised if some people play that game a little too far and have
It's
won the
been known
game.
to happen in the past. And as this kind of joke is made, like you see Simon clocks Joffrin's face, and it's like, damn,
I
like a
wish I could- I
FOMO.
wish I could do that.
There's like a FOMO of it.
And then we don't. I thought I heard someone else talking, but I think that was a cat.
I might.
Everyone turns check their cats. I heard that there is monsters in the mines, correct?
There are. There are indeed, from what I'm told.
Just out of curiosity, because we will have to wait a few days anyway. What does one require to have their turn in the mines?
Really just going down there with your own equipment, taking a torch, some pitons, some rope, rappelling down, and exploring to your heart's content.
Interesting.
Don't be so eager to throw yourself into danger. I've seen many people claim the same things, and then I never see them again.
Fair enough.
One last time for anyone here at dinner.
It's our intention to challenge some of the champions to the proving grounds in a few days.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Considering who my mentor was, I thought you may be interested in seeing how your sister fought.
That could be something. But I think even my sister would lose to Rochefort. He's really cool.
You wouldn't.
She wouldn't?
No.
I don't know. Rochefort's really cool. And my sister's kind of like not cool, from what I remember. She was cool, but in a different cool.
She was in charge. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, but I'm in charge, and I don't feel cool for being in charge.
Depends on how you go about it, I guess.
But yeah, I'll be excited to see.
Hopefully I don't embarrass myself now.
Yeah, because then, that'd also be cool to see, maybe.
I have some tricks up my sleeve. It's fine.
But I'll root for you. Any of you guys, it would be cool. I've never really known anyone to do it. I mean, I saw an outsider, a couple months ago. They were really cool. I mean, they even beat Rochefort. And I didn't see that fight, but I was told about it, and it was, from what I hear, a really good bout.
Wonder if that was
If you don't mind-
Sakamoto's brother.
Could you describe him to us? Yeah, perhaps we know him.
He looks to Simon. He was definitely not from Segoria, or I think even Veovaland or Garrix. He was a young man, long black hair. Didn't talk much. I mean, when he won, he immediately left towards the burning gate. Didn't even rest to lick his wounds. That kid was on a mission.
I see you're purposely not saying the keywords that will confirm who it is or not.
He doesn't know who it is.
I know. Perhaps.
You see Lonnie kind of, my lord, perhaps it should be time to bid your guests good night. You have another waiting for you. It would be rude to keep them waiting. But I wanted to speak to the Weaveborn sisters another time, perhaps? Okay. You all finished eating?
Yes.
Lonnie, can you wrap up some food for them in a small basket and give it to them? Of course, I will do that along with an extra bottle of wine and some cheese and bread for the next day as well. That would be perfect, thanks. See the servants start to pick the plates up. Eventually, you guys are sitting here, a couple of refreshments are passed out, and then a basket is placed in front of you all with some leftovers of the meal that you've eaten today, as well as some extra bread, cheese, berries, and wine. You take it, you start to leave, and you see that Simon goes to see you out. And as you guys are walking, Cassian, you see a large black mare. Massive. The muscles on this horse, they jut out, almost giving it like the illusion of like having the pectoral muscles when its legs are so massive, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Long black horse, a mane, and then a simple what's the word?
Bridle?
Simple saddle and bridle, yeah. But there's no rider. It's here, there's a servant pulling it to the side towards where a little stable is, maybe enough to accommodate 2 or 3 horses max. Take it, they start brushing it down. Simon sees the horse, he spots it, and you spot him see it. Like you see him see it. Right, well, you all have a good night. It was a pleasure seeing you all. I appreciate you for giving him a good memory in this home.
Zaron.
A pleasure.
Have a good night. He starts to turn, go back in the house. Anything you guys want to do?
Well, that was something.
He's in there right now. He killed his sister, and yet
Perhaps don't give him a reason to kill the brother.
said I would do what I can. And I heard him dead anyway.
Time is right.
Right. Where are you guys heading for the night? Where are you staying? What are you guys doing with the maybe the remaining 2 hours of your night?
No.
I think Kay wants to go to the bathhouse.
I think Kay really wants to go to the bathhouse.
He really wants to go.
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, he's just holding it back.
You won't
What do you
stop
guys-
bringing it up.
Why are you pushing this? I get what a bathhouse is. Why are you pushing this?
Okay, it's okay, but you can go.
Funny. Yeah, you can.
You're a big
guys-
I mean, you can all go. I mean, you guys
Yeah,
all
Kay
can go.
Not Kay
Really?
can
Oh, yeah, okay. What are you guys doing?
I'm not going to the bathhouse.
Does anyone have anything else they want to accomplish this evening?
I really want to get my hands on one of those drums, but based on who we just ran into, I kind of want to stay next to you.
Seems that it's going to be a couple of days anyway until they start accepting challenges again. So, I'm sure you will have many opportunities to get yourself a drum.
Maybe we should re-register in case there's a lineup. I would feel quite foolish if we wait till the day and we weren't able to sign up.
Let me be very clear. There's not a lot of people that sign up. there's like people that sign up in the day, and then one goes, and then they're like, okay, we're not doing
Oh wait,
this.
maybe I don't.
Maybe I don't. Right? It's not a very common thing. It's just the wealth that's generated from them. It's not uncommon to go weeks without a challenge.
Yeah.
A lot
Like-
of last minute dropouts.
Yeah, a lot of last minute dropouts.
When's the next Challenger Day?
In about 2 days.
2 days.
Okay, so we got like
I think 2 days is enough to get a feel for the city, no?
we can find a place to find a place to rest, comfortably in the bed for maybe the first time in a few months, and then see what we can find in the model.
Y'all pick it in. Where are you staying? Where has Gwenda gotten you? You got 5 different inns here.
Well,
How expensive? These are prices for a night.
Price for a night that includes 2 meals.
So, I know the place.
I
Gwenda
think
would
we go to the Gathering Flame. I just think we go there. Thoughts?
All right, rich girl.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
struggling
okay.
for a
Gold
golden
piece of
night.
But yes, yeah, rich
You're
girl.
struggling.
Well, to be
All
the
right.
rich girl
They're
place
like,
is
hey, we're
probably-
touring the city. Where should we stay? The Ritz. What?
Well,
Yeah, man.
well, that place is only 1 gold. I think the rich person place is probably the scorched.
No, it's 1 gold
Earth,
piece.
This is
which
the most. That's the
The
most
the
expensive
Gathering
one. A
Flame is
gold
the
a
most
night.
expensive.
A gold a night.
all
Yeah,
the
the ones
others
that
are
are
There's
silvers.
5 silver.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
I personally think just because of what we know of Gwenda so far, she would have gotten us the loose buckle. But
I don't want to
it
go to the
it
loose
depends on
buckle.
like where we want to stay, so we can go no thanks and go somewhere else.
How about we cut down the middle and go to the Ashen Lantern?
Cool.
Good stuff.
Pretty
Right.
well. Wait, let's. Yeah,
that
it's
open
pretty.
to the
It's city central.
Yep. Quite literally, the Crimson Pass is an uprised area of just rock
Right in the middle.
that people have built, directly in the middle of the city. You see a couple of stalls here closing down for the night. You come into this inn, and it's not, bumping by any means, but it is a large inn and tavern. There's a lot of traction here, but most of it is people that are in the city coming for a drink. You guys get your rooms. How do you guys want to spend your 2 days here before the proving grounds?
There's some things I want to buy.
You just DM me for any shopping.
Okay.
And if we need to run them, we will.
Hey AJ, where
Um,
can I buy drugs?
Probably
They
the
gotta
Ashen
have
Steps.
some good shit here.
Probably the bathhouse.
Probably
Bro.
the Ashen Steps.
Probably
Or the
Probably
bathhouse. The Ashen Steps or the bathhouse. High key.
They got
Yeah,
those- they got
if I
those,
want to
yeah.
get some coke, then that's
Okay,
go
so
where
I'll
the
put it like
rich
this.
people are.
Crack is going to be in the Ashen Steps. Coke is going to be in the bathhouse.
Cool. Shit, man, I got money. I want that rich girl drugs.
Cool. So I need a gold piece from each of you for 2 nights here.
All right.
It's 5 silver pieces each. You can take it out of the party fund, or you can take it from wherever.
Pretty fun.
We're gonna just resolve.
We're
a couple
not.
of
We're not
things.
community funding your drug addiction.
Yeah,
No,
we
I'm talking
are.
about
Okay.
the
Okay,
stay,
I was
the
about to
stay.
say, like, what the fuck?
So Rose, you're going to the bathhouse.
Just fucking fighting for it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing over these 2 days? Just
I
anytime.
think
I have
I'm
two
going to join my
things.
sister at the bathhouse, and I think I'm going to try some rich girl drugs.
He absolutely does not invite you to come with her to the bar. Not a shit.
That doesn't mean
So
she
let me
doesn't go,
get this straight. Marjorie, without Rose inviting you, do you still go there? Yes or no?
I think she does go there because everyone's been mentioning the bathhouse, but I don't think she goes for the cocaine specifically. But if she finds cocaine,
But if she happens to find it,
Crazy.
Hey,
If it happens to be in the same place as me,
anyone else over these 2
I-
days?
I- two things I think.
Yes.
I want to try and find some medium armor.
Good.
I understand that this
DM me what
is
you're
a
looking for.
barter central,
Yep.
but
You can DM me what you're looking for. What's the second thing?
I am also going to the bathhouse.
Guys,
Let's go.
You can't keep saying it and not have people go there. What
no,
do you
because
think
y'all know
happens?
it's bad.
yeah,
Because y'all know it's
yeah.
bad.
Absolutely,
That's the, y'all
absolutely.
know it's bad.
Absolutely. He's a red-blooded
about
male. It's fine. Okay.
Right? Well, Cedric.
Oh, and I want to see if there's a money person here, AJ, where I can send some money somewhere. That's one other thing that I'm.
Okay. Marquez, anything from you?
No, not yet. Not particularly.
All right.
What he meant to say is he's going to the bathhouse.
No. So we're gonna start with Cassian and Cedric, kind of just the shopping at first. Okay. I need both of you. Let me pull up my tables. Give me 1 sec to pull up my tables. Da 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 da. Okay. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, itchy.
I know the second part of that is a long shot, but it's like, well, when
Yeah. Let's see.
say it.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Yeah. Because if I'm about to go a little bit of fisticuffs, I might want a higher armor class a little bit.
Not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
The way I'll be very transparent. The way the proving grounds work, it is not your character sheet. It is a rock paper scissors. It is a dueling system.
Gotcha.
We've done it before in the past.
Yeah.
Same type of system.
I still
Rock,
want
paper,
better
scissors.
armor though.
Yep. Strength beats Dex. Dex beats Con. Con beats Strength.
Almost like
If you beat that person, then you get to add your proficiency bonus. So if you're doing Strength and they're doing Dex, then you get to add your proficiency bonus to that roll, and it's just a D20 plus your modifier. So you can still win if your modifier is higher than them, even if they add their proficiency and vice versa, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So cool.
Cassian's still the best choice because he has the highest con and the highest strength.
Is anyone doing anything together?
Does anyone want to come shopping with me?
These are the boys 3 first going shopping. Like in one day. It's like, all right, hey, you're going to the market, you're going to the market, you're going to the market.
Cedric,
you
I
wanna do
swear to
some
God, if you don't buy yourself some armor.
I'm wearing armor.
No,
There's
you're
nothing
not.
better I can
No,
do.
you're-
I'm
you're
wearing
not.
leather.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
I'm wearing
So
leather.
much
Yes,
better.
I am.
How about better than leather? There's
I
other
can't
armors that
wear
are
better
light.
than leather. I'm a fucking bard.
Studded leather.
You can wear light armor, not
Wear
just leather
better.
armor. Light armor.
Leather is light. Studded is
Oh,
the best
I'll
you
be
can
honest.
do.
There's,
Light.
I'll be honest. There's also the blistered anvil, which is a massive smithy at 9. It is a large smithy
There
here.
are other light
that-
armors that are better than leather.
So if you're looking for like armor and weapons, that's probably going to be in the blistered anvil.
Y'all need
It's
to know.
in
The
the
best
Ember
I'm gonna
Market.
get is a 13. It's not that deep.
Compared to your
12.
12?
It's not that better.
Oh, dude, we gotta figure something out, man. We'll
Isn't
figure
there,
something
like-
out.
having a lower
Some sort of
AC than a
training.
wizard is a crime.
They can cast shield. I can't. What do you want from me?
Bring it back. Bring it back. Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Jen?
So I'm gonna say yes, Marjorie.
Isn't there like a trinket or something that bards get that give them like a +1 AC or something?
Probably. I don't
There's
know.
magical
so many
items
fucking
that do
items.
that, but not Spard specific.
So I'm gonna be very clear. I'm gonna start with Cassian for just shot real quick. Medium armor. Do you just want +1, or do you want another like armor type?
Oh, well, a breastplate. Let me see. A breastplate. Would that even do anything? Let me see what I have on now. I think I have just scale mail on. So to get an AC increase, I would have to go to well, yeah, I would have to go to a half plate to get any benefit. So half plate or +1 is.
Okay. Let's see.
It depends on like what medium armor. Like a +1 hide is useless. A +1 chain keeps me exactly where I am. So it's.
Yeah.
funky.
Let's see here.
If they have it, great. I know it's probably gonna be expensive.
Cool. Roll
But
me
then
a
mundane breastplate is also an improvement.
roll me a D10.
Nine.
9. Imagine you're looking around, whether you're at the blistered anvil or you're in the market stalls. Really depends whether you just want to pay gold or whether you want to barter. It's up to you to decide. What you do see, yeah, go ahead.
Gold is preference, but I'm gonna pull up our crafting item sheet and see if there's any, stuff that we don't necessarily
Sure.
need.
You see two things, or you see one thing. No, two things. One is very well made. It is a set of scale mail. And because you've tangled with these creatures before, you recognize the scales. It is red dragon scale mail. Very well made, placed here. It's almost placed never out of the arm's length of the owner, whether it's the Blistered Anvil or the stall owner. And the other one is this breastplate. It has a gold dragon motif worked into the design. It's definitely not Sigorian. It looks old Empyrean. You find a red dragon scale mail and a dragon guard. Both are +1. One is a scale mail, obviously +1. The red dragon scale mail gives you +1 to armor class and then advantage on saving throws against breath weapon of dragons and resistance to fire damage. Additionally, you can use a magic action to discern the distance and direction to the closest red dragon within 30 miles of yourself. Can't be used until the next dawn. The Dragon Guard is +1 bonus to AC, and it grants the wearer advantage on saving throws against the breath weapons of dragons.
So they're kind of the same, except the red dragon scale mail gives you red dragon sonar
Resistance, yep, and resistance to fire.
and resistance to fire, which is
Mhm.
kind of cool.
So
And one is
we might
scale,
look-
and one is breastplate.
These are both worth getting.
How much
Both.
are either? I'm sure they're both expensive as hell.
The red dragon scale mail is very expensive. It's a very rare item. The Dragon Guard, the asking price right now is 3,600 gold pieces.
Okay.
Now you can always work that down depending on where you go and who you're talking to.
And how much is the? So then, if we want to work for it, the red one.
The red one is very rare. It's going to be 12,000.
Yeah.
Now I will be very frank. The Firelands.
It's the Firelands.
Exactly.
Kitted out. No, it's kitted out. Like, I know you guys are on your mission, and that mission needs to be fulfilled, of course, but there are so many secrets in a land that is only dominated by clans. Think about the treasures that those clans could have. Think about the items that they're hoarding. Think about the creatures that are there, the items they're hoarding. Think about where you're going and what you could find there. We don't have a lot of items in this campaign so far, because we haven't done a lot of dungeons. We haven't explored too many dungeons, maybe 2 or 3 in the entire campaign thus far. The more we explore those, is where you get these magic items in this campaign. Shopping for them is going to be very difficult.
If I will help you with the armor if you want, Cassian.
+1 breastplate. That would take my base AC to 18.
It would, and you would also.
And on transformation, it'd be a 19, which is pretty good.
And most dragons have dex-based breath weapons.
It's just advantage on breath weapons.
Yeah, which
advantage on weapons.
I don't know about you, but I have a
For
small
dragons.
feeling we will eventually fight more dragons. So I'll help you with that if you want. I'm assuming I said I'm also shopping, so is Kay here with him, or?
I assume so.
The 3 boys going out.
It's so the Dragon Guard armor is 3,500.
36.
36. That's higher than I said.
36.
Okay.
And the scale is 12.
How much do we have in the party fund, like the thing where you all can draw from?
I'm not even looking at the party fund right now.
It's not very much.
no,
The
it's-
first time we contributed was the last time we
You
got some money
focus on
entered.
that. You focus on that. Cedric, a drum. You just want one of those.
Yeah, I just want one of the unique drums from the region.
2 silver pieces if you just want to buy it, or you can trade for it.
I'll just buy it for 2 silver pieces.
Cool.
I don't want to waste too much time there. I do want to look for some better armor at the behest of everybody and myself.
What type of armor?
Plus
Medium,
+1
light?
studded leather. I can only wear light, so
Roll me a D6 for me, please.
Oh, I'd love to. But yeah, take this.
Does anyone particularly care
What does a 5 give me?
for any crafting items that I may wager to reduce the price?
There
Hey,
you go.
You mean
Cedric.
something that
Just depends
Yeah.
on what you're gonna try to wager.
+1 leather armor. Rare.
Scales,
How much?
25.
scales and claws.
Scales.
Damn.
Scales are on.
2,500.
It's too much for me.
The
I'm
only
gonna-
also try to bring it
the
down.
only- yeah.
Mm,
I will
um,
help you
potentially use
okay,
for weapons
here's
and
what I'll say. I'll say,
I'll try to
I'm
do scales
sure that
first
you've
before claws.
seen something like this.
Yes, yes, yes.
And it's gonna make Arceus happy, even though he's talking over
I
me.
do.
I pull out the Lantern of Revealing and say, could I maybe trade this as well? I just wanted to send some money home, and I don't want to spend it all here and feel guilty about it.
What does he do?
While you're in the brightness of this light, invisible things become visible. Probably good for when you're down mining in the mines, if that's something, people do often around here.
I think
Um,
I still have the better deal, of course. I mean, this was enchanted. Not often something like this comes into my stores, but that is also an enchanting item. I don't believe in even trade.
No,
I'll
I've
give you
been willing to pay some
credit.
money as well. Like, I just was wondering if it could maybe reduce the total cost of the item in some way.
I'll say I'll give you a credit of, let's say, 750. Sound fair?
So 1850 out the door?
Sure.
Right. Deal. Sold. That's all I needed.
Get +1 leather armor.
And Arceus can be happy that I no longer have the Lantern of Revealing.
Get out of here! One
Also,
more
Okay.
it's
item
still
to go.
leather armor.
It's also still leather.
It's +1 at least. Come on, give me a chance.
You could have just gone up to studded. I got the same benefit.
Well, that's what I asked for, but this is what I got.
Yeah,
How
sorry.
much would a mundane breastplate be?
A mundane breastplate.
Or half plate. Sorry,
Half
so
a breastplate would get rid of my disadvantage on stealth. But who wants stealth
Thank
anyway?
God. Half plate armor is 750 gold pieces as per the 2024 PH.
Yeah, I think I'll just do that for now.
Cool. You can always enchant it with things. you know?
Correct.
Weird, I'm not.
Not
seeing
me,
I don't
maybe,
any
but
That's
someone.
kind
good
of-
tip. Good night. Sorry
Bye.
for
I
leaving
feel
early.
better.
Good night. Feel better.
if I get one Cassian, could you enchant it for me as well?
I'm more of a forger type person.
Actually, he can't enchant only because he doesn't have spells casting.
Ah, got it. All right then.
You could enchant. If you have the spell casting feature, you can
You
attempt to
ma-
enchant.
I can kind of help, but I'm not making the big rolls.
How would I go about learning to enchant items?
You just do it. Like you can
Can
get
be.
a feat to do it, right? To do it better. Any spellcaster with the spellcasting feature, any character with the spellcasting feature can enchant an item. You just need to have spellcasting, have the essence, have the material, and have a mundane item, and then make the rolls. You do that, you can any one of you can enchant except for Arc and Cassian.
I technically have the spellcasting feature.
And I still make magic items.
You don't have the spellcasting feature.
I have spells.
That's not the spellcasting feature.
But I have spells.
Then here I'm gonna buy.
I'll say for everything on that list, Kay, if you're just buying like just mundane stuff, I would say a total of 18 gold pieces.
If there is a chance, to find one that like doesn't need to be even like rarity uncommon, just one that does something.
You put a lot in there. You got to pick one because I'm not gonna have you do 4 rolls for 4 different items.
The dagger.
Let's see. Give me a D6.
One.
1. You don't find a dagger. You find a set of bracers. These are bracer of flying daggers. It appears to have thin daggers strapped to you. As an action, you can pull up to 2 magic daggers from the bracer and immediately hurl them, making a ranged attack with each dagger. A dagger vanishes if you don't hurl it right away, and the daggers disappear right after they hit or miss. The bracer never runs out of daggers.
Please save those. There's sirens going off, so everyone's coming in my room right now. So I'll be
Oh, man.
back in a minute.
No worries, buddy. Cool. We're going to keep going on. Cedric, you wanted to do some research.
Yeah, I want to look. I mean, I don't know, like if there's public records here of the Fryland family since they've arrived and stuff. I just want to see. I'm nowhere far removed from where I'd probably get good information. What is the connection between the Magnerises and the Rylands? What is that connection? How long does it go back? Is there any record
Ooh.
of like transactions, dates, anything?
Give me an investigation check.
Bet. Yeah. 21.
21. Now, again, most of the information here is specific to Sigoria and Valar's Rest. So you're looking at the most recent records in the past 10, 20 years. You see the connection mainly appears in when Joffrin took over. There's a lot of ledgers, a lot of money going out, money coming in, a lot of deals being made. And the best way I can describe it is like the Magneris name was signed as like a co-signer, like a co-signee, right? It's like, hey, like here's my second as part of this deal. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Confirms what I kind of already knew, but not good. Keep that in the back of my mind for later. All right. Now my character knows what I know. Hee hee. Um, and then the last thing I wanted to do was I want to send money back to the orphanage, if that's
Well,
possible
you
from
kind
this
of put a
location.
postage. You just can DM me how much money you want to send, and if any message you send to it. It's going to be a bit difficult because crows don't fly from here all the way down there, but you can pay a little fee. So whatever you're paying or whatever you're sending, add 20 gold pieces on top of it as like, hey, this is a message that I want to send out.
Got it.
I will say you could probably wait to do until you're back in Andamiria because that's not something that you have to pay for. That's something that your hirelings can set up for you.
I'm gonna DM you all the reasons why I'm doing it here and now.
Cool. Sounds good. Right. I'm going to start with Rose. Rose, you're asking around. You're like, all right, I need some good stuff. You hesitantly make your way up to the steps of this house, and you can feel not just the heat from around you, but the steam emanating off as you enter in. You see a woman at the front. There's very much like a public pool. There's like 2 entrances, one on the left and one on the right.
Mhm.
But you can tell they loop around to the same place. There's a wooden backing behind her where these 2 openings are, and she stands up at attention. Oh, hello, young one. Welcome to the Sapphire Baths.
Hi. Um, I, I'm just wondering what kind of services are offered here.
Whatever services you wish.
Um, she's like, what kind of like, what kind of vibe is she getting from the like? This is like a front desk of a place, right?
Yeah,
There's
you
definitely a like.
yeah, you hear giggling and laughing, like echo from the large building that this place is in,
Mhm.
like behind her, and there's maybe like 15 or 20 people inside. But there are varying pitches. They're not just women, they're not just men. There's varying pitches coming from all the same area.
Um, I'm looking less for services and more for goods. Something to take the edge off, maybe?
There are many things that can take the edge off here. I would just say that most goods are acquired through acts of service. The entry fee is 8 gold pieces if you'd like.
Sure. Hands are 8 gold pieces.
You put 8 gold pieces down and she gives you a robe. There's a room down there where you can change. And there's small places for your belongings. As you pass by to go towards that room, you just take a sneak glance and you're like, there's limbs. A lot of limbs.
A lot of
A lot of
limbs.
other appendages just out and
Mhm.
about.
I
There's
mean,
a
while I'm
lot
here,
going
I
on
might as
back
well
there.
go to the orgy. Like, you know,
There's a
do they?
lot
Do they?
going on there, man. You
Do
know,
they?
with the steam, there's like small different like little pools of like kind of like naturally carved in like small like tubs and pools where there's maybe like the most people in one tub is like 6. And you're like, oh, okay. But then there are other people dressed with similar outfits than her, while they don't have the like lying like cloth and linens underneath the covering over it. They're just standing there on either sides. So like, these people are workers here. And then as you walk by, you see one get pulled in, they disrobe, and
Get to it. Look, no, when in Rome, um,
you come out in your robe, and you see this woman approaches. She goes, "I can tell you're not from here, so I will guide you to your first time." She takes your hand and walks you in the pool back there. Try not to stare too much. It is disrespectful to the other patrons. But take your pick, whoever, however many you'd like.
hey man, there's some hot dudes in here. She's,
Yeah,
you
man.
know, she looking for hot emo boys.
Hot emo boys.
Yeah.
Give me like
I mean,
your
look,
like
they
describe
just
it
need
is
black hair.
probably
They're in a
it's
bathhouse. They
archetypes,
just need
bro.
black hair, you know?
It's archetypes, bro. It's just the
Uh-huh.
archetypes. Like you see the guy with like the pulled back black hair that like goes down touching the shoulders, and you're like,
That'll do.
eventually, Rose, as the steam
Uh-huh.
overtakes you, however long you want to stay here,
Yep.
you're kind of sitting in this pool and you realize that like it's not just that. Like it's the majority of that, but it's not just that. Like
Yeah.
people are just actually like chilling here after they get it on. Some people just want
Yeah.
someone to talk to. And you're sitting here kind of like your arms
And
out.
any good orgy has a buffet.
Everybody's naked. Everybody's naked. There's not a single
Uh-huh.
ounce of clothing at all in here. And you're like, oh, okay, people just getting up and walking by me. Okay, damn. And you kind of have this moment. You inquire, like, hey, I mean, like, that was all great and all, but like, see, he gets up, leaves, and comes back with another robe. He places it down. You see another guy comes in. They exchange a, locking of lips real quick, and then he comes back to you. And he puts something in his mouth, and then he grabs you out of the back of your head, and you feel something go into your mouth. And after maybe like 3-4 minutes, you're like, oh my god! Your
Yeah.
body is both wired and loose at the same time. And maybe in real time, 5 minutes pass by, but you feel like you're sitting in the water for like 4 hours. It's gotten to the point when you're like now staring at your pruny hands. You have some pruny hands over there. And you enjoy your time here for as long as you'd like, Rose. I need,
Yeah.
so you don't come across as a fucking drug addict,
Yep.
you need a persuasion check.
Awesome.
so they don't know that you're a drug addict.
But you did ask for drugs immediately.
I mean, look, that's
Oh,
what
damn
I'm
it.
here for. Let's go! Not
That's what
20 for an
happens.
18!
That's what happens whenever you let us roll for it.
Roll me a D4.
Yeah.
How much extra drugs did they give you?
One. One
One.
extra drugs, please.
No, I'm just rolling for which drug
No,
it
I
is.
know. I was just.
I know.
It's MDMA laced with fentanyl.
What the
Sorry,
fuck
wait.
is this? What the fuck is this?
Perk 30.
What
Perk
the
30.
fuck? This is a perk! This is a Percocet!
Yo.
Oh no.
well, AJ, tell us about the drug.
A perk 40.
This is the mountain lotus extract. A rare but enormous mountain lotus is put in a cauldron filled with alcohol and sugar. The cauldron is then heated until the flour dissolves, then left in the fire until most of the alcohol evaporates and a black sludge is left. The sludge is then mixed with chemist sawdust, at which point it can be eaten, either by itself or as a spice, or smoked.
Nice.
When used, the extract greatly expands the user's mind, granting a +3 to intelligence, wisdom, or charisma
Wow.
for 1 hour. The ingester determines which ability score is increased. Once the effect wears off, the user must make a DC 30 saving throw of the same ability or gain a -2 to that same score as their brain has overexerted itself.
Woo!
Is it a
Actually,
permanent
I love
effect?
that. That's great.
But how long does
Set
it
up
last
permanent.
on the down?
Until
okay.
your next long rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's
So
So
you
you're
sleep
not
at all.
doing anything while you're after taking this drug.
You could
I could.
for an hour.
so. What I'm
Jesus
hearing is performance
Christ.
enhancing drugs potential.
Now roll me a d6.
Yeah.
How many of this do you get?
2.
You get
What is the
2
deal?
dosages of whatever the fuck this fentanyl is.
Let's go. What's it? Mountain Lotus something?
Mountain lotus extract.
Yeah.
Cool. I assume you are not going to be here when Cassian gets here.
I've been here for 3 hours. Hi, Rose.
So
Oh, ew! We'll go to Cassian, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. Cassian.
3 hours. What's up?
So
Yeah,
Cassian's
I'm gonna get back
wrapping
to
it
you.
up.
I'm gonna get back to you, Cam. I'm gonna get back to you. Rose, you leave. You're like, oh God, what the fuck? What the
I can't believe
fuck?
Cassie was here.
Cassie, you make your way. Same thing to you. 8 gold pieces to enter, and as you're like, oh shit, oh, they just going at it. Oh wow. Anything you want to do here, man?
All I know is that his unwind is just him like getting like a full like face mask and getting like having like his goatee and stuff trimmed for him. That's all I know. Everything else is
You see, like at first, like you get to choose who services you and helps you relax in whatever way you want. So whoever you choose, at first they're like very like, ooh yeah, and then you're just like, I just my mask and the facial man, like like just let me relax a bit. And I'm like, okay, everyone's naked. It's a weird but a very almost intimate thing to have just someone kind of trim your beard, pull your hair back, wash your hair, and then eventually you say your goodbyes, unless there's anything else you want to do here.
Nope.
Cool. Going back to K, that is a bracer of flying daggers.
So essentially lets you throw a dagger and then it
As an
comes back to
action.
you.
As an action. So it's not an attack. You throw 2 daggers as an action.
still 2.
Now, they're not magical, so they don't have like a +1 bonus or anything. D4 plus dex, but it's just your attack roll plus dex plus proficiency.
And is an action to go bad? Do I need to like put away my sword to like throw away the
It's a
daggers?
bracer. It's a bracer, so let's see.
Or do I point it like Batman and little things come out?
I mean, you as an action, you can pull up to 2 magic daggers from the bracer. I'm gonna say, yeah, if you have a shield and sword in one hand, you're not gonna be able to be like, ha, ha. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Does that mean it says you pull out 2 magic daggers from the bracers? That means he has 2 magic daggers, put them in the bracer. Could he throw them and they return?
That's a bracer of returning. That is a belt of returning. That is a specific other item that does that.
Ah, okay. Then I will get the mundane thing of the stuff on the list. How much gold is that?
Probably gonna cost you like 18 gold pieces.
All right. And then when Gwenda is here, I'll do that.
Cool. Anything else you guys want to do this evening or these 2 days before the proving grounds?
I think Arcus has
Actually-
been roaming around the city. Everyone goes
Okay.
to fucking buy drugs. He says, I'm just gonna explore.
Actually, I will do this now because I will forget, and then I'll do Gwenda when she gets back.
Okay. Let's see. Or just give me a general perception or investigation check.
15.
15. You know that you guys are not the only outsiders here, but as you're looking around, there's definitely obviously there's a community here, but you see one instance where it's amplified. It's like in its magnitude. You see someone definitely not from Valar's Rest, not from Sigoria. They like check one of these stalls. Like, hey man, what the fuck? That's bullshit. And then immediately the entire area is like, what you better do, player? What you better do?
What you gonna do, big man?
What you better do, player?
Officer
What you
right
better
here.
do? Hang on. Brother's texting me at 1:40 in the morning.
It's way past their bedtime.
I do like the thing of the city of like if you cause a problem, the entire town.
Yeah,
just
there's
goes,
very much like a.
It's a
doing
nation
the
of
plan.
like 5,000
And then
people.
he's
So
like-
yeah,
It's more big. No, it's quite
Well,
big.
more
Yeah.
yes,
But like in comparison, yeah, man, it's just this and Mournford. These are the only 2 cities, so they got their backs. This guy's like, "Hey man, what the fuck?" And everyone's like, "What you about to do, big dog?" And sorry. You also kind of trail. Maybe after that, shifting your focus towards other outsiders. Those that are asking the like locals about the Firelands, they're seen as like, what you doing? Like, why are you asking so many questions about that, man? Like, you shouldn't go there. Like, you just don't. Like, I get the fervency, I understand, but you don't understand how bad it is. Don't go there. And you're overhearing these multiple conversations. Like, I get it. I'm sure you're very capable. In fact, you have a lot of gold that you spent already, or it gets around quick. You still should not go there. It is not a good place. You will not have a good time. However strong you think you are, that place will break you and bring you to your knees. Stop it. And it's definitely like from a place of like, it's not worth your life. Stop.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. But you also see in these 2 days carousing, just moving about, the gates open. And you see a group of nomads enter in. They go directly towards the forum. And people give them a wide berth. There's a respect there. There's like a known, like, you got it. But they don't interact with the people. Nothing more than just selling their wares, staying at the forum, and then leaving. And you get the sense where they're like, they don't even take a passing glance at another inner tavern. And you put the connection 2 to 2. They're not allowed to stay here.
Oh, they came
They are
from
kept on
Firelands.
watch from the Firelands, these nomads from the Firelands. They're not allowed to stay here. They go to the forum and they're watched by the elders and the people that control the city. Then they're escorted and left after that. The city definitely has a very much like, this is us and that's you.
Gotcha.
And you feel it. Like, we are all Sigorian, sure, but this is us and that's you. I need one more perception or investigation check.
21.
21. You're moving around the Crimson Paths. You make your way past the Ashen Steps, the Ember Forge, the Kindler's Causeway. Then you see it. In the distance, over a sea of people, large armored individual riding a familiar black horse. They're following this road. Going up the steps. They're not moving with like a quickness, but they're definitely like moving with a purpose. You recognize the armor. The helm is on. Same man you saw in Fort Yeroth.
Interesting. Siegfried.
His stay evidently was not too long.
I will definitely be like, oh, that's not good, and I will just try my best to just. I mean, this is like the one thing I'm good at. I'm gonna try to just like follow him, very like Assassin's Creed like follow mission where like you like kind of blend with the crowd and move around and like every so often kind of like look at something and do like let him get like a bunch of distance on you, then try to catch back up.
Give me a skill check.
Don't fail.
Yeah, don't fuck up. Because he already knows.
15. A 5 and a 4.
Bro!
15.
Efficient and perception, not too high on the scale.
Would it be against his passive, though?
Would it be against his passive?
Yeah, he's not actively trying to be like.
I need to calculate passive.
It's just 10
Because,
plus
like,
their
as far as we know, he hasn't seen any of us, so he doesn't know we're here. Not me, he's never met me, but you know what I'm saying.
The only ones to actually interact with is Arceus.
Your passive is add 10 to their wisdom modifier and add proficiency bonus if they're proficient in the perception skill.
It's 10 plus your modifier.
I didn't know that it was 10 plus your perception skill modifier.
Yeah.
Not just your wisdom. 16.
16.
16. Just failed. Just failed.
Damn.
You get to maybe here. He's at a checkpoint before he's following along. You get most of the way there, and then he dismounts the horse. And the sea of people that you're hiding in, just unfortunately, you're like, fuck, like I can't push anyone out the way. That'll make a scene. You're getting closer, just unnaturally. And then the helm slowly, just looking at the sea of people, not at you, but in your direction. You turn slightly, not being obvious, just turning slightly, looking at a stall. And you're not sure if you've been made, but you definitely know that you've been spotted.
Yeah. I think if he's like, does he look like at me at all, or does he?
Eventually, there's a moment when like it's hard to tell with the helmet on, but eventually there's a moment of like, okay, that helmet is looking in my direction. It doesn't linger on you, but it's like.
I think he's like, fuck. I think he sees like, okay. How far is he from me?
Maybe 60 feet.
60 feet. Oh, okay. I think, yeah. I think, he would. Yeah, I think he would just keep walking forward. Very not.
Him?
Yeah, not stealthy at all. Now, just like, not like a, but just like he's like just walking in that direction. But very obvious that he's like looking at him.
Yeah. As he's at the checkpoint, he takes the helmet off, places it on the bridle, takes from a water skin and drinks. I've seen you before.
Yeah, I thought that was your. Just wasn't too sure. I don't remember.
What an odd coincidence. Siegfried.
Actually, Jared don't remember if he told me his name last time.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, that's right. I think that was it. Small, Small world, I suppose.
Small world. What business do you have here?
We just came to Valar's Rest to talk to an old friend of mine and see if we can maybe enjoy the city while we're at it.
We.
Yes, me and some traveling companions of mine. It's not safe to travel alone these days, at least for most people.
His body turns and he takes a step forward. And it's the best way I can describe it is like, in like JJK Zero, when Yuta takes that first step into the classroom,
Yeah,
and there's that, like, nothing's outward happening, but you feel, and even sooner, like when Ma saw the Ant King, like his whole body,
yeah.
like you visualized it. You get the same thing of a like, oh, there's a threatening intent here. It's not just like there's a threatening intent here.
Mhm.
You know, I counted one man less the morning after our scuffle, was it?
I guess you could call it that. I don't know if it was much of a scuffle on my part.
It was admirable in a way until you let others ruin what could have been a glorious defeat.
That wasn't fair.
And then there's another step. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no, not a wisdom. I don't
Best
do, I
stat.
don't do good on wisdom. 6.
You're frightened. Your body tenses up, and you're like, oh no. Oh no. It's like the solace you have is like, he's probably not gonna kill me broad daylight, right?
You would do that, right?
Right?
No,
Right?
Right? Not in broad daylight in front of everybody, right? You don't happen to know anything about my missing man, do you?
No. No, nothing at all.
Seems there's going to be some time before I am allowed to leave. Checking my belongings, of course, standard protocol. What say I treat you to a drink?
I would be honored.
There's a hand that's placed not on the back of your, not on your back, but on the back of your neck. A grip, not on your neck, but in the space where your traps meet your neck. Just a gloved hand. I know a good place. First round's on me. He leads you to this bar. You enter in, sits down at a table. See a server comes up. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for stopping in. And before she could finish, she goes, mead, sweet. 2 of them. Of course. She placed the drink, and before she can put the drink down, he goes, you said you were meeting an old friend. And there's a look that's perplexing his face, like he's spinning gears. You said it yourself, this is a small world. Perhaps I know them. What was their name?
Elira, an old friend of the family. She came down here. We believe to enter into the Firelands. We received word from her. I know that she wasn't allowed to and decided to remain here in Valar's Rest.
Her name once more?
Elira.
And she's a friend of your family. What family is that?
That you would not know. Dasla is my family name.
And yet here I am knowing it. I never got your name.
Let me apologize first, and secondly, warn you, my name is Arceus.
Arceus Thasila. That is a name I don't know.
You do?
And yet, and what was your friend's surname?
Winmare.
The drink is placed, and as he doesn't say anything. He takes a sip. And he's looking at you over his glass. I need a deception check from you. I believe frighten is only attack rolls, not.
Yeah, it depends on attack
I
rolls.
believe it's only
I
attack
mean, it could
rolls.
be
Let me
ability
just.
checks if you say so. Depends if it's
I no. It's what the. I'll put it like this: you are frightened of this individual.
Sure.
That is the mechanic to it, right?
Yeah.
It's up to you whether or not it would affect Arc to the point where you're like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
I think
oh, fuck,
because
oh,
we're in a
A
public
frightened
place,
creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls, according to rules as written. Not being.
Oh, that's
ability
frightened.
checks and attack rolls, or is that the...
Ability checks and attack rolls.
Okay, then never mind.
Hey,
It doesn't
well,
matter what I was
that's
gonna
the rule. Yeah. Disadvantage on deception.
They may fear
say.
worse.
Is it? I don't. Not that I don't trust you, so I'm gonna check again because I'm pretty sure.
I'm reading it. I read it up.
Is it?
I pulled it up. It's reading right here. Yep. The
Okay.
creature also
They-
can't willingly
yeah,
move
that's-
closer to the source of the fear.
They may
While
not
the
be-
source of the fear is within line of sight, ability checks and attack rolls, and they can't move closer.
Thanks for it.
Or closer? Yeah, closer.
14.
14.
Would have been good.
10 on the die.
Oh.
Small world, isn't it? He takes his drink and drinks maybe halfway, and you're like, okay, he's gonna stop just because that's too much alcohol. Oh no, he's not stopping. Oh, he's finishing it, staring at you the whole time, and then he places the mug down. You were here to see Joffrey Ryland, weren't you?
The name doesn't ring a bell. He doesn't. He's not.
Come closer. I have something I wish to tell you. You think I won't dismember you here and now?
Sure could.
Let's try this again. You came here to see Joffrey Ryland, didn't you?
That's not why I came
The
here.
table is shoved to the side. There are people that are like, whoa. And he's still sitting there as he pushes the table to the side. People are like, what the fuck? And then he gives them a look, and it immediately is like, perhaps I do have unfinished business in the city after all. Maybe I'll go pay my old friend another visit. And I'll ask him the same question I asked you. And if your story holds true, then perhaps the world can continue being small. What if it doesn't? You're better at your words than you are with your blades. Even though both have failed you. Takes 2 platinum pieces, places it on the bar, and he stares at you the whole time as he walks. And as he leaves the bar, there's like a like an exhale that you didn't know you were holding in. What are you doing, Art?
I'm just gonna sit there for a while. Just in case he's
See the lady comes up.
sitting like right outside.
The lady comes up to you.
Sorry.
I've been told to tell you to leave at your earliest convenience. Respectfully. Just she reaches forward, takes the mug that's still undrank, and she walks, puts it down. Ark, you stay there for a little bit, and as you leave, he's not there. Okay. Anything else you are doing?
Nah, I think I've done enough damage. Three shit rolls in a row. It's shit that I'm supposed to be good
It's
at.
rolls, man. It happens, buddy. It happens. You know, it's just
Good
is what it
try.
is. It happens.
That's the
Nice,
game.
man.
That was
What
as
you gonna do
bad
with it?
as it could have gone.
It's literally the 3 things
No.
that I'm. That's the 3 things
No.
that I'm the best at.
It could have gone a lot worse. It could have gone a lot worse.
Don't say that.
Congrats, buddy. That's
Let
the
us
worst
believe that this
anyone's
is as
ever
bad as
done
it
it.
gets.
Anything else from you 5?
I was gonna give out stuff, but it feels weird to pass to do that after that.
You don't know. You don't know shit. You don't
I
know
got
what
something I'm
happened.
doing
Yeah,
regardless.
you don't know.
I think
Cedric, what you doing?
I think I will talk to Cassian after some point.
I
Cool.
need to talk to Cassian right now about what I found, regardless of
I
that
need to talk to
situation that just
Cassian
occurred.
about seeing his
So
penis.
we'll say
What?
Shut
say
up,
this.
bros.
at the end of the second day, you guys regroup up at the same inn that you're staying at. You have a quick meal together, enjoy it, and there's kind of like not a tension in the air because no one knows anything that has happened. Cedric, you're up first as you all are eating a quick meal.
Cassian. I just kind of like push the notes over to him. Figured you'd want to know whatever Siegfried's doing with the Ryland family here. This is what the public records say. He recently started dealing with them within the last 10 to 20 years, only with Jordan. That's it. That's all I got. No one saw me come or go from that place, but the public records.
Don't know if that's good or bad news.
It feels manipulative to me, but I don't want to impart my own decision making
There's
on that.
something manipulative, of course. I'm relieved that this seems to be a new connection, or a newer connection.
If we can confirm that the Ryland family has something that he would want, you know what I mean? Based on what I saw in the dreamscape, sorry about that. Don't know what a man like that would want. Couldn't even begin to guess.
It's a failing family. Don't know.
Does he want to ensure that they fail?
I
Just
don't know
watch the fish
why-
die, so to speak. You know what I mean?
I don't know why he came after us in the first place. If he was after us, he could have been after my commander. The middle child, Tomas, was an addict in many ways. There's no real connection to Siegfried from there, but that's 2 out of 3.
And then oddly coincidence that he just happens to come and start dealing with the youngest. Literally far out of his way, as far as I can tell, from where I went to find you. I don't know. Just worth noting, I thought. That's it from Cedric.
So about Siegfried. I might have seen him city, or riding around the city. You may have also seen me and threatened to kill me.
Huh.
You're literally the one person he's interacted with.
I am. He mentioned something about one of his men going missing the night we saw him last. Any idea about that? I didn't really know what he was talking about.
You would actually. When he went in the dreamscape, you saw it.
Did we? Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we did.
That is character knowledge.
He showed you, or a version of him showed you.
That's
Yeah.
right. That is
Curiosity.
character knowledge now.
Just out of curiosity, when him and Cedric saw that, did they see Kay behind the tree watching?
No.
I sent you away. You didn't see it.
You.
No, Kay watched. He stayed there. But all right. Just
Ah.
curious.
So that part of the dream is now coming back to bite us. To be fair, though, that doesn't excuse why he killed the company he was a part of. For
He also
what I can.
completely cold called why we were here, and is probably gonna go back and talk to him again about us being here.
Which means now he knows who all of us are. And
Perfect.
considering
Did
that
you
I
ever?
told Joffrin who I am and my associations with his deceased missing sister, now he's very aware that he didn't complete the job.
Then do we leave the city and try to go around, or do we hope we are able to live for 2 days, take the challenge, win, and then leave, and hopefully he doesn't follow us out?
I don't think he can do anything. He seems to have created some sort of persona or connection to Joffrin. I invited Joffrin to come see the trial. If Siegfried's there, it's unlikely that he would drop that charade. He knows what he knows. He may show up to put faces to names. I don't think he'll compromise that deception. So I think we are as safe as we're going to be now. I think rushing it and trying to make our way across or escape the city, it only puts undue danger on us, to be honest.
Well,
We're in the inn, right? Can I just look out the window and just kind of look down the street, left to the right, just
He's
in case?
standing there menacingly. No,
That's what I'm saying.
He's not there. He's not there.
Okay.
Not his vibe. Not his vibe.
Yeah.
He knows what he knows. I think worst case scenario, he shows up at our trial. But if he does, I don't think he will act on anything because he's the person he's trying hardest to deceive will be there. He's not going to compromise that. Hopefully.
then the only thing I have to ask is, if it does come down to it, do you think we can win?
No,
Definitely not.
not really.
Based on the dream. What I will say, actually, and this is actually on Cassian's side of this, you're probably right because the Ryland family has done a lot for this city. He would not want to do anything in a public space against that person because then the city probably would come at him. And though he's probably insanely powerful, I don't know if he can kill 10,000 people on his own. I really don't want to find out, to be fair, but I doubt he can.
It just seems that he's invested a lot in creating a connection to Joffrin.
Why would he also?
He's going to break the deception just to.
But what happens when we leave for the Firelands?
He would also have to do the trial. I assume it would be quite easy for him. However, we would hopefully have a head start.
It'd be enough. He does have a horse and is one person.
I don't want to be the one that puts a dour thing on this. I saw the dream. This man is relentless. Maybe biblically demonic even levels of relentless for a man.
He
What I'm saying
is
is we shouldn't
about
underestimate what he will
2,500 years
do.
old.
Yeah, we just shouldn't, underestimate what he might do based on what he has done. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Why I haven't. Obviously, everyone is very aware of my connection to this person at this point. And as brash as I can be, I have no death wish. Even if he doesn't have his army at his side, he's killed me once before. I'd rather not happen again before we're ready to actually do something about it.
I mean, he almost killed me in a dream, which was scary enough for me. So
that's what you
It's
felt.
it's out of our hands now. Though I do think maybe following a very deadly enemy on our own is not the smartest thing.
Listen, I fought him before and lived. I thought it was okay.
He knows your face.
Alright, saying you fought him is a bit of an overstatement.
Hey, Kate, hey, shut up. I don't need the negativity, okay?
To make
see,
it look
now
right.
we're starting to sound like our old selves. I like that.
Well, we can't change what happened. All we can is prepare and be as witty as we can. Also, she feels like weird timing for this now, but I feel like we need this. Kate's gonna take out a sack and put it on the table. When I first started traveling, one thing I wanted to do was go to different places and get some souvenirs to remember all the wild places here on the surface. I got one for each of you.
Boy.
Here's
AJ,
a souvenir from the place we've all been to.
Well, I was gonna say the place we are now, but later this would be cool.
Yeah, no, this is yeah. AJ, can I describe how they all look? I'm assuming I understand the aesthetic. If I'm wrong, you correct me. If I, what does that mean?
It's a thumbs
It's
up,
a
bro.
thumbs up.
Oh, okay. Sorry, he's going up and down.
What does that mean?
First off, for Arceus, Kay will take out what looks like a pan made that's like tinted red, as if it's made with like the theme of the Firelands. There's like little marks that seem like teeth around the pan, as if like to kind of help when you flip it. And there's like a leather like animal skin for the handle. You hand that to you.
Nice.
He will take out what looks like the tooth of some creature. That's like this big triangular shape. Definitely something that like maybe eats rocks, and the end of it has been blunted, and it looks like a very large loot pick. And he'll hand it to Cedric. It kind of has like a string of what looks like the fur, a long fur that you can like attach it to your wrist. So if you drop the pig, you can just bring it back and grab it. He will take out what looks like this dark red, almost crimson glove that like a mage might wear to like if their wand backfires, it protects their hand, kind of like a mage version of like a bowman's glove. And there's like a design of the skull of some creature on it, a little gothic. And I'll hand it to Rose. What else did I get? I have one for Marjorie. He will take out this helmet, like this helm that looks like it was made of the skull of like some large muzzled creature. Maybe not a wolf, but like something else in the Firelands that is wolf adjacent. And it looks like if someone would wear it, there'll be a little extra room. But if they happen to get a larger head, it might still fit. And you'll hand it to Cassian. And I have gifts for the Marjorie and Gwenda, but they're not here, so I'll save that. Did I forget anybody? I did get something for everyone.
What did you get me? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. I was switching over.
He got you what looks like the tooth of some creature that might eat rocks, and the bottom of it has like this fur or like leather on it, and there's a pole that has like a long, like braided of thick fur, so you can tie it around your wrist. So if you drop it, you can put it back up, and it's like a very like tribal loot pick.
Thanks, Kay.
Yeah, I feel like we needed, even if this is small, some sort of win-like moment. We got here from
Oh, boy's frozen.
I can still hear his voice.
I can't. That must be
And
something.
we
with
go
mine.
to bed.
Discord. There you are. You're back.
All right, I want to point out, nobody freezes for me when that happens. Things seem normal. When did I freeze?
Crazy.
Yeah. This K going like we needed. I feel like we all earned something. We got here from a tenuous journey, and I wanted us to feel the win, even if it's something small. Which now feels very interesting. And kind of pats Arceus on the shoulder. This is going to be fun.
Okay.
So Cassian, sorry, I think I missed something. I wasn't in your dreams. This man killed you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, he's kind of a cunt.
Oh, I remember when he beat the shit out of you, Ark. I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's
he
how
and
it looked from my
his-
point of view.
He and his goon squads of pillagers and murderers hunted us in the mountains for weeks, and then he put a lance in my chest at full charge. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah. Well, I feel like that's a foe for later.
Well, you may see him tomorrow, so look forward to that. Thanks to Arceus.
I was gonna recommend that we maybe go to the mines and see if we can find something interesting down there, but now I don't feel like it'll be good to be in a place in the city where he can be with us alone.
Correct.
So he, from the sounds of it, Ark is saying that he. If, correct me if I'm wrong, Ark. You told him a lie, but he knew already the reason why
He didn't lie very good.
you would be here.
Yes.
He knew,
Right,
he
but
knew before we started talking
but
who we were here to
you
see.
said he cold clocked like the people that you're talking to. Is
He
that
said, "You're here to see."
right? That's
Well, even if he asked him, unless he knows your name, he's gonna have to describe you. There's a chance that he doesn't do a good job of it.
Yeah, I don't think he does by name.
Did he tell him your name?
No.
Inside check.
You don't need to.
Nah, bro,
Yes.
bitch.
I need to know for K. I need to know for K inside.
God damn it, nice.
Your dice privileges.
Dude,
Yeah, add me to
man.
the ban list, bro. At this point,
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
He just does this. How fun.
On that note, you all, the heavy sigh, take your leave, heading to bed, choosing to go to the Proving Grounds tomorrow, hopefully earn a Firewatch charter and continue your journey onto the Firelands. You will have to determine who is fighting. The rest of you will be in the stands watching, cheering, or betting your gold on the victor or loser. One thing's for certain is that now, after the conversation had here at this table, your heads will be on a swivel, looking around, making sure that your suspicions are correct, or if they're not, what are the next steps regarding that individual. For now, we're going to end our session here and pick back up next Friday into the Proving